Jalen list, all on the practice squad. The Houston Astros avoided getting swept, beating Philly 10-0. Jordan Alvarez hit 3 homers. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with Jay Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in on a Thursday. I'm AJ Hoffman. He is Rob Thompson, though you can't see him on video.
I'm coming here. I'll be here just buffering.
Almost there. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
Touch up my appearance, yes.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
God, please.
Let's see here.
Robert, it is. You got to mute your
Is that
thing.
me?
Yeah, that's you. Bud.
That's me.
There we go. We've made it to football.
Week
Week 1.
Oh, I feel like, and this is going to age me, but do you remember still hear something? Do you remember the?
Oh, it's a TV.
Beginning to the Wide World of Sports on ABC News, hosted by Chris Schenkel on a Saturday and Sunday afternoon.
Never heard of it.
The Wide World. It was this it was a 2-hour.
I've heard of it, but yeah.
Okay, so the beginning of that was this skier, this ski jumper, and they would show this montage of either the fabulous or the blooper of sports, and it was if you Google the Wide World of Sports, and there was this video montage, and they showed this cross country skier and coming down one of those, not cross country, a ski jumper coming down the hill, and it's exciting. It looks like it's the beginning of what's going to be fabulous, and right before the jump, he trips or he stumbles or the ski tip takes a turn, and he just tumbles down off the thing. Florida State has already begun their football season, and their cross country or their ski jump, they're done. And this weekend, nobody will be done, but there'll be one team that will be done, like eliminated.
Well, if Florida State loses, they're done.
I don't think Florida State's eliminated yet, but they certainly fell off the ski jump, and I'm looking forward to somebody this weekend falling off the ski jump, where it appears that catastrophe is imminent. Well, I'm just afraid it's going to happen in College Station, but it could happen. It could happen in Boulder. It could happen. It could happen in Baton Rouge.
I think in Boulder it's happened before we even need to say it's happened. Colorado ain't winning anything.
No, but I mean the catastrophe. I want to see the imminent fear of doom, and it's really not anymore. I mean, now all you got to be is 12th.
Yeah, I guess so.
It eliminates some of the pressure, and it allows you to walk the tightrope knowing there's a net underneath you. You'll do something a little bit more daring. But what I'm excited for is the imminent doom that we're so accustomed to. It's going to be hard to get over. That it's over.
Like
it's not over for Florida
loser
State.
Of Georgia, Clemson, or A&M Notre Dame would basically be eliminated, or all but eliminated from being able to win a title
every other year. But this, every other year it would have been over. And even before you lose week 1, it helps.
But see, in a way, I liked it the old way. I liked it where every game, like that, to me, college football was the only sport where every game felt like a playoff game.
You're right. But what college sports was, what makes up for that, though, is now the rivalry game. And while some of them have been ripped apart, we're going to have some new rivalries. But you're right. What used to be about college football is literally there were no mistakes. You couldn't make one. You had to go 11-0.
Yeah.
There's just no getting around it. And if you did make one, you better do it in week 1 or week 0. Now you can kind of stumble around, but they've ripped it. But what will make it more exciting is in the middle of October, we're going to have these ridiculous, what appear to be bowl games to carry us through the utter fear of losing. Now you kind of match up. You're going to see some crazy new matchups that are going to be interesting as we build the new rivalries that we've not experienced before. Because I know that once the Big Ten fan gets a taste of Oregon fan, they're going to be that's a new rivalry for a lot of people. And I know in the SEC, welcoming in OU and Texas, there's going to be some new rivalries formed that they not only because it's easy to hate those two schools, but because there's going to be some like-minded football teams that play alike that we're going to see that are going to begin that. Yeah, and we might lose, but man, the matchup get us through.
Well, I'm down to see teams take more risks.
Yes.
I'm good to see. I hope we can stop. Unfortunately, there are so many FBS versus FCS games in week 1. They need to at least kind of balance those out in the 3 weeks that lead up to conference play.
I do agree with that.
Don't pile them all in week 1.
But that's driven by TV, and it's paycheck games. I mean, I guarantee you that the Montana States, South Dakota States would much rather be playing an opponent where they're getting to, get their backups in. But they got to go get paid.
Well, yeah, you're right. But can't we just do it in week 2?
Well, you'd love that. But TV is building this. TV is the one that's deciding, okay.
They're deciding, let's make week 1 terrible?
Kind of. It's better than having week 3 terrible. Because right now we'll drink the sand.
All of them pretty good.
Well, right now it's kind of like sex and pizza.
Yeah, you're right.
Now in 3 weeks we can be discerning.
Listen, I'm as I say this as a person who's going to watch Colorado play an FCS school today.
Yeah.
So what do I know? I don't think Colorado's worth a damn. I'm going to still go watch them play an FCS school. The game that I am most heavily invested in as a bettor and in my entertainment tonight is a game involving Jacksonville State. So that's the kind of night it's going to be for me. So basically at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm going to watch. I'm a sucker. I'll be all over it. So, and I'm guessing most people are exactly that way.
How'd you spend your last evening before football?
I watched Hard Knocks.
Mandatory Tuesday viewing.
I watched Untold, the murder of Air McNair. Murder. I didn't know there was like conspiracy theorists out there.
Well, no, I didn't know there was either. And it's unfortunate that they made this because it was all just like, Steve, what are you doing, bro? What's going on, man?
I say this all the time.
Nashville's a little town.
There are 3 things in this world that men, if you have downfall as a man, it's usually one of these 3 things. It's either money, drugs, or women is the polite way to put it. It's not the word I usually use, but I'll just say females.
I thought you were going to say Friendly's waitress, Dave & Buster's waitress. Because Friendly's, that was Tiger, right?
Those all fall into one category.
Dave & Buster's waitress. And anybody else that we know that have been felled by a waitress?
Oh, God, there's been plenty,
that
I'm sure.
Come to mind immediately. Stay away from the low-end waitresses, all right?
Yeah, if you are, there's drugs, money, and then there's that other word that we don't say on this radio station. But it is a powerful thing that women have. And that has been the downfall of many a man. And
you're going to go down swinging. Go down with an adult. You know what I mean?
Listen, she's 20 years old. You work your whole life making NFL money. You want to spend it on some hot 20-year-old? I mean, God bless him.
Her poor boyfriend. Like you're what? You left me for who?
Yeah, like I'm the biggest Titans fan. I got an Air McNair jersey. He's my favorite player. Wait, my girlfriend's banging him?
See, that's the real story here. That poor bastard. Let's do a 30 for 30 on this dude.
Well, I love that he's so involved in the
like, oh yeah, I love
the whole thing. So I did that, and then you know what we're gonna do in the next segment is talk about angry Cowboy fan, because yesterday was actually technically Tuesday was my day to make a video for the station Instagram feed. I ended up doing it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a happy video if you were a Cowboy fan. And Cowboy fan is so aggressive on the internet. I mean, it is
Twitter is not.
We'll read some of the things that got said to me yesterday, and we'll make you feel like you're working with a total That'll be fun as well. What do we have? A caller in the first segment, Edwin?
He wants to talk about Aggies Notre Dame.
What?
The leprechauns?
People never call our show.
Not without being asked or being told they're going to win something.
I know. I guess let's talk
An
to him.
unsolicited call gets
What's
on.
his name? Mark? Hey, Mark.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey,
Morning,
we're
sir.
doing Sportsy. How are you?
Hey, Rob, I don't know if you remember me. I'm Dancy Mark. I used to call the Blitz all the time.
Yeah, man. Good morning to you. What are you doing up so early?
I'm going to work.
Good for you. What's up?
So I'm going to the Aggie game on Saturday. I'm a big Notre Dame fan. I grew up 15 miles from Notre Dame.
Well, you're a smart guy.
When I go there, what should I see or whatever? I've never been up there before. My son got tickets for me.
Well, enjoy yourself, man. It's going to be a good one. We'll treat you nice. Wear your green. Support your fan.
What do you? What should he do when he's there?
Well, you gotta do the standard. Go to the Chicken. Go to Northgate. Get there early. Stay there late. Get yourself a cold beer. Play some dominoes at the Chicken early. Enjoy the tailgate. They'll be happy to give you some stuff. You'll get some razzing, but they'll treat you nice. You'll be safe. Walk through the tailgate and have a good time. And after we whip your ass, go back to Indiana and go to school. All right.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Did that guy say his name is Dancing Farts?
No.
What did he say?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't Dancing Farts.
It's like, wow, that's a great radio name. Dancing
Or a
Farts.
band name. I think
Yeah.
I'm seeing them at ACL. They're one of the smaller states.
Maybe so. I thought he was like a chief of a cert, like a.
How did I get the name?
Yeah,
Dancing
well,
Farts.
I don't know.
Well,
No, oh God, what a great game to go to.
oh,
that
it's
would
going to be surreal, man.
I'm
My
surprised you're
kid
not
got
going.
tickets. If I felt like I could find a place to lay my head after the game, I'd be there.
Well, isn't it an early game?
That's 6:30 tip.
Oh yeah.
You know, we're gonna have all day. All my guys that are tailgating, like, we're opening it up at 10.
Where's your boy gonna stay?
I don't know.
He owes you a couch.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that. I could probably go sleep at my fraternity barn if I really
There
was
you
desperate
go.
for it.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was there and the old dudes would come and crash on our disgusting couches. Like, dude, who is that old
Yeah.
alum? Come on,
like,
old
hey.
man, go home.
Hey, Bubba, this was my couch.
Well, and also, if you were an alum and you slept in, you are responsible for alcohol and food and all kinds of stuff.
oh, you
So
don't
I'm
want to
not,
do that.
I'm not going to fund those animals.
No, yeah, that's probably a good
Mm-hmm.
call. All right, when we come back, we will we'll take a look at what Cowboy fan had to say to me
What
yesterday.
did you do, poking people in the eye?
Well,
like that?
we'll talk about it. It's not nice. They're not pleasant. I can tell you that much. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio Sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by England, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Do not touch a black woman's hair.
Don't touch a black
Don't
woman's
touch.
hair. She's serious.
That's right. Don't touch it.
Why?
You can compliment it. Don't pull it.
So what if you're fooling around with somebody?
I will never tell you to pull my hair. It's subject to come off if you do that.
That would be
I
the
will
end of the
never
moment,
say
wouldn't it? That would be wonderful.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Every Saturday morning. Check out the YouTube channel, complete with live video stream at jcwshow.com.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Get big deals for days at Target's long weekend sale.
Let's go.
Like 20% off denim, tees, dresses, and shoes for the family. Then round out your barbecue with Doritos and Ruffles party-sized chips. They're on sale 2 for $7. Or get 30% off 12 packs of soda when you buy 3 with Target Circle. And save even more. Find new lower prices on many grocery and household items you love today and every day. Target's long weekend sale ends Monday. Restrictions apply.
Join the Blitz live today from the Best Cigar Lounge in San Antonio. 4-9 Cigars at the Village of Stone Oak, Suite 101.
Come and join the 4-9 Cigar family with a premium cigar in hand. And you can bring your own cold ones too. See you there.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or jessehernandezlaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
Were you uninvited to game night? Do you play board games with the ferocious intensity of an iron-fisted oligarch? Have friends left game night asking, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Head to Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, the Labor Day sale. Save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 instant gift. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Paramount Plus is once again your home to stream the NFL on CBS. Follow all the action and stream your live local NFL on CBS game every Sunday, all the way through the AFC Championship. Sign up, sign in, and start streaming Paramount Plus today.
As a roofer, I don't have time to fail. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to get me what I need when I need it. And with the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. Now through September 15th, purchase high-quality GAF with Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
941 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Notre Dame Leprechauns, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pregame at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like we do have a stall on 35 southbound Olympia Parkway. It's taking up a left lane. A stall at I-10 westbound Houston Street, east side of town. That's now off to the shoulder. Now, we've still got this closure on 1604. Westbound Bitters on over to I-10, closed with road work. They are still forcing traffic onto the frontage road. So expect those delays to start right around Blanco Road. And 1604 eastbound Babcock to La Cantera Parkway. Ongoing road work has you slow from Kyle Seal Parkway. And Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime! Cowboy fan, so angry. Why? Why are you mad, bro?
I think it might be. Don't mistake anger for the. They might be just mad at you.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, it's just you.
So yesterday, I made a video after the Dalvin Cook signing. And listen, if you're the kind of person who's excited and you think Dalvin Cook is going to be the difference for this team, more power to you. I'm of the belief that Dalvin Cook's 29 years old. Jets didn't want him last year. He went to the Ravens. Ravens wouldn't put him on the field. And then he was a free agent literally until yesterday. Didn't do camp with anybody. Why? Because nobody thinks he could play. So the Cowboys signed him to the practice squad. And I made a video basically saying the Cowboys were never serious about upgrading the running back room if this is their move. And I stand by that.
You don't think Zeke was an upgrade?
God. They are unserious about running backs. They are an unserious organization when it comes to running backs.
I think that's a fair statement. What's to be mad at? I think that is a fair statement.
Here's some of the comments I got. Their best years were running back by committee. Dalvin Cook ain't no bum either. He adds a pass game from the backfield. Y'all see one bad year and say someone is washed. It's about being dynamic, not getting another power back who is better than Zeke. I don't know how I came across this dumbass video.
Dalvin Cook and dynamic have not been mentioned since Florida State.
It's been a while. The guy speaking in this video has no idea, and he wasn't consulted and never will be. Which is true.
Jerry didn't call you?
No, he did not.
You know, well.
Why do San Antonio care about the Cowboys? The Texans are 90 minutes away. Go follow them. Let's just wait and see, right? As far as I can tell, you're an authority of Jack Bleep. So let's just let the guys play.
Jack Squat?
Yeah. I think I'll have my cat start making videos about football. Seems any goofball nowadays can do it.
Well, that's true. That's a true statement.
They need to stop letting everyone with a mic have a podcast.
That's another true statement.
This one is not mean, but it's just absurd. Running back by committee is okay. They do this in Kansas City. So, yeah, well, just do what they do in Kansas City.
That's our plan, really.
We've established a championship program. It's just not the world championship yet.
Now I pride myself on having a pretty decent vocabulary.
Your word usage is goodness.
Well, this one is above me. Ultra crepidarians?
That's not a word. I'm going to check that.
Okay, type ultra
crep,
CREP ID.
Here it is.
Arians.
Ultra crepidarianism.
What is this?
Is the act of giving advice or opinions on matters that are outside of one's sphere of knowledge. What a great word. I'm learning
this
this
is a good word.
Ultra crepidarian. You're an ultra crepidarianist.
Apparently so. Ultra crepidarians love to hear themselves talk. A player has to find the right fit team to excel. Dalvin Cook is going to change your mind with the right scheme and O-line.
That's it. He just needs to be in the right place.
Washed. Look at his numbers before last year. You're lost. First of all, remember after 2022, which I saw like the lowest yards per game that Dalvin Cook had since like his second year, and the Vikings said, "No, we're just going to let you go, man." And everybody said, "Well, why would they do that?" And it turns out they knew something.
They had another guy actually looked just like him.
Who, Alexander Madison?
Who looked exactly like him, just with a different number.
But if the Cowboys signed Alexander Madison, would there be any kind of buzz about it?
I think he was available.
I think he was too. He's not on the roster. He's on the practice team. Look it up. Well, I know that. We talked about that. That's a given. What are we doing? And then he said DCFL. Oh, Dallas Cowboys for life. Solution. He's on the practice squad, Grandpa. I'm a grandpa now.
Well, at 45.
44.
You're 44 plus.
That's right. Very aggressive. Very aggressive, and I don't understand why. Why do I have to be a grandpa? Why do I have to be a dummy? Why do I have to be a guy who doesn't know?
Because hope springs eternal in August. Now, September, as Robert O'Keefe would say, is the cold gray light of dawn. But right now, yes, the hope is Dalvin Cook can be what he was 4 years ago. That would be the ideal situation. That's why the Cowboys signed him. But evidence to the contrary, the last two teams he was around that needed him. I mean, the Jets needed him.
Yeah.
They wanted him to be successful. It wasn't a bad situation. It was a place where they went and got him and said, please help us. Breece Hall ain't healthy, and we just lost our quarterback. We need what you've got. And he wasn't available. He was pedestrian. The Ravens, same. That's a ground and pound offense. You'd think a guy like him would fit in pretty well. Nope.
Who had multiple injuries at running back last year.
So, no, he's not done, but is he the guy you remember wearing purple? No, this is not him. There's a reason why he was still around. And if you think he's going to be a huge difference maker, you are hanging your hat on a wrong peg, man. That ain't it. It's just not that. Signing Dalvin Cook will make very little difference in the overall outcome of the Dallas Cowboys this season. Will he help? Yeah, he might be worth a down or two and might even create a touchdown that turns into a game win. He might do that.
Rick also commented, and I'm not convinced this isn't Dak's burner account when I hear how he words this. Who are you and why would anyone care about your opinion? That sounds like Dak to me. Sounds like,
here we go.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well,
why don't you go follow soccer? Go check it. Go check the stats, homie. You let one down year define who a guy is.
But see, here is the problem that who these guys are, and I see him defending his honor. The thing about what was with a running back is they age like dogs.
29
He's
years
29,
old.
and the traditional number was 30 already, and he had a high usage rate.
Yes.
So even if it was just a down year, even if it was, no matter how good it would have been, he is degraded. With every carry, with every tackle, he is a lesser running back, especially once you hit 30. Now, there have been exceptions over time, but when was the last time you saw a free agent that sat out for basically a year and a half, that stepped into a situation that was even moderately successful, and name the position? It's just that if he could have, he would have already.
Yeah. Yeah. Running backs don't come back from 2 years of being non-productive and just show up 2 years older and start rampaging.
But again, I don't think the Cowboys give a damn. It's not about the running game. It's not. And if you thought the focus was Zeke now that he's back and this is going to be a ball control offense that 28 points will win a football game, no, this isn't what the Cowboys' plan is. So it doesn't really matter who's back there.
No. Do you remember when Adrian Peterson came back and played for the Redskins and the Lions and the Saints? Not really, right?
You know
why? Because he was done.
And he could have, and he probably did better than most of the backs could have done in that same situation.
Yeah.
But, just because you're pedestrian and you should have been worse doesn't make you, a remarkable success story.
But a guy who was like a 4.8 yard per carry guy who ends up with 4 or 5 years of being like a 3.8 yard per carry. And it sounds like, 1 yard less per carry. That's a big difference. But yeah, it's just if you're expecting something, and it was.
I don't think you downgraded anything about the Cowboys. This is just not that important, and he's certainly not the splash that some people are making.
That's all I was trying to say is like, if the Cowboys were serious about upgrading their running back room, this isn't it. It's not it. So, but again, now he's got a star on his hat. You can't say anything bad about him. That's just them's the rules. Them's the rules, friends. Ren says Le'Veon Bell did that for a season and came back strong. Not really. Le'Veon Bell took a whole year off and then came back and ran for like 3 yards per carry the next year.
He was never the same.
He was never good after he left. Never. I don't even think he even got back to an 800 yard a season. Like, he just never became that dude again. So I again, and he wasn't even 29. He was like he was like 25, 26.
And another part of this is even if he came back as good as possible, he's still not starting.
No.
Not as good. If he was just about everything we thought he was going to be, he ain't going to get the first snap. Now, he might get a few more downs, but this is Zeke's job. He's back. Jerry loves him. The offense is built to whatever his strengths still are, and that's where they're going.
Dalvin Cook was once really good.
4 years ago, the man could carry tote the mail.
I'm just saying, like, running backs, like you said it right, age like dogs. There is, there's a hard line that running backs hit, and the guys who last till 30 are rare exceptions. I actually thought Adrian Peterson could be one of the guys who did and still be effective. He still played. He didn't feel anything like Adrian Peterson at that point. But we're about to find out what Derrick Henry is at the age 30 season. And man, if he's an exception, then God bless him. But what we also saw from Derrick Henry was we haven't seen that drop off from him yet. We saw it from Dalvin Cook. And again, when 32 teams were like, nah, we're good until 2 weeks before the season starts, that should tell you a lot.
Yeah, man.
If the guy could play, he wouldn't have been sitting at home playing Madden.
Although I want this cat to play.
Sure.
Let's please be everything everybody's saying.
I mean, we said yesterday the Cowboys have the worst running back room in the league. If they could upgrade it, I would say, yeah, upgrade. I just think that anybody who believes this was an upgrade is mistaken. And
well, you're an ultra crepidarianist. Crepidarian. Ultra
crepidarian.
I like that.
You don't know jack about squat, Bubba. You don't know jack about squat. All right. We want to talk about Florida State on the other side. Jay Norvell came out and discussed what happened in Ireland. You talk about teams on the brink of elimination.
See, what happened was
here they are. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we're back out on the road. 4-9 Cigars in Stone Oak, and what's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. Couple of days away from the UTSA season opener. UTSA Athletic Director Lisa Campos will join us at 4:30.
We'll talk some Texans football as well with the General, John McClain, coming up at 5:15.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem. And it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Let nothing stand between you and the tree stand with this great offer on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Featuring a gas-powered engine that delivers a top speed of 40 miles per hour, outstanding acceleration and handling with cargo, and a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Get the Sidekick now for 0 down, 0% APR for 36 months or save $1,000.
Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas for over 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Nigel, why are you wearing a backpack?
I'm going back to school.
Folks, when your AC decides to flunk out or your home's plumbing is stuck in detention, you don't have to worry. At Quarter Moon Plumbing, AC, and Heating, our technicians are certified with all the latest technology and can fix any plumbing or AC issue fast and at a fair price because you deserve the A-plus service.
Gotta go, Joel. We're studying paper mache. I might have to pull an all-nighter.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, 210-651-5899. License number TACLA 885-898-M16004.
The Twin Liquors dollar sale is here. We dropped the price on all wine and spirits to the absolute lowest, then at $1. It's how we say thank you to our customers. Don't miss the dollar sale, now through Saturday, only at Twin Liquors.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card came in.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news. I went to billshappen.com and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
Who doesn't love getting something for free? Labor Day deals have arrived at the Home Depot, and right now you can get a free Milwaukee 18-volt extended capacity battery, $159 value when you buy a select tool. Get longer runtime and more battery life so you can power all your fall projects. Shop Labor Day deals and get a free battery when you buy a select tool at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Limit 1 per transaction. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in store and online.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like we do have a stall on 35 southbound Olympia Parkway. It's taking up a left lane. A stall at I-10 westbound Houston Street, east side of town. That's now off to the shoulder. Now, we still got this closure on 1604. Westbound Bitters on over to I-10, closed with road work. They are still forcing traffic onto the frontage road. So expect those delays to start right around Glenville Road. At 1604 eastbound Babcock to La Cantera Parkway, ongoing road work has you slow from Kylesville Parkway. And Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Hey, Jim Rome here, and back in the military city of San Antonio. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We were talking about how nobody's eliminated quite yet. Oh, this feels smooth.
This is a
right?
chill. See, this is for your Norvell, Florida State types. It's not over, baby.
It's not over.
We got a lot of time.
We got plenty of time, baby.
Just sit back, relax. I'm not saying anything's got to happen now.
Feel the music, girl. See what's coming to you. Well, Mike Norvell says, this is sickening. I'm disgusted. It was sickening that they lost to Georgia Tech. It's sickening that we came up short, and I take total responsibility and ownership for that. It's my job to have the team prepared to go and play to the best of our ability. I don't believe that was our best. I would hope not, since Georgia Tech ran for almost 200 on you. And this isn't like triple option Georgia Tech either. This is supposed to be a pro-style offense, and they just ran it down your throat.
Haynes King. The greatness that is.
There was a point in the fourth quarter where DJ Uiagalelei had negative air yards.
Can we talk about him for a second?
Sure.
This guy sucks. Can we just call this what it is? This was a massive error in recruiting for Florida State. He sucked at Clemson. Against lesser competition in the Pac-12, he looked adequate. He goes back and plays an average ACC defense and gets embarrassed. And it wasn't just scheme. It was his inaccuracy and inability to read what was going on out there. Most of what happened to Florida State lays right at quarterback play.
Well, right at quarterback and at Mike Norvell. For believing that DJ could do it, and B, for not fitting his game to what DJ can do.
Well, what can he do? I don't know. I'm not sure what he can do. If he's got a clean pocket and a lot of time, I think maybe he's an adequate drop back dude, but his decision making was not strong. His accuracy even worse. And the reason that Georgia Tech was able to run the ball the way that they were was because Lele kept turning it over or couldn't manufacture any kind of offense where Georgia Tech was downhill all night.
Going into Saturday, I was confident. I know the guys that I coach. It's just that connecting and being able to have some of those vertical plays down the field didn't show up for us.
Yeah, vertical plays. You know what? That's code for my quarterback couldn't get the ball downfield.
We'll continue to work and be better and try to capitalize on those. He said that he did not limit the downfield passing game, but instead the lack of shots vertically was based on the looks that they got.
His quarterback couldn't read the defenses and get it down there.
Yeah. And DJ's like one of the highest paid college football players there is. He got big money this offseason. And if that's what you got, boy, I don't know how you can feel good about it. I really don't, because it's that was about as rough of a loss as you're going to find, I think. At least that early in the season, a top 10 team losing to a Georgia Tech team that I don't.
Which could be, I think Georgia Tech going to surprise some teams. I think that their quarterback play, I wasn't kidding, Haynes King did look really good as a mobile type dude. And you're right, that pro style offense seems a little bit more appropriate to what they're going to be needing to do in the ACC. I think they're going to surprise some people. Florida State's got a lot of time, man.
Florida State, if they go 11-1
yes.
and they play in the ACC championship, they're going to the playoff. That said, if they're losing to Georgia Tech, they've got to go to SMU, which I think is not going to be an easy game. They've got to play Clemson. They got to go to Miami. They got to go to Notre Dame. They'll have Florida at the end of the season. It ain't going to be easy. They got to play Memphis. Memphis, we just talked about, isn't a walkthrough. So, this is it's like hitting your tee shot on hole number 1 straight into the water.
And most of us are used to this.
This is how your round's going to go.
The 1 in, 1 out, and let's go to work.
But normally when your season starts like this, it doesn't get a whole lot better as it goes on, if you stumble in week 4, okay, that's you could still, usually if you're losing in week 1 to a team that you shouldn't be losing to, it probably says more about who you are than it was like just a bad day at the office.
But I will say this, because of the loss, it's made the ACC a whole lot more interesting because of what the race is going to look like with Miami and Clemson, because Clemson gets an opportunity out of the gate to do something pretty incredible. Miami hosting Cam Ward now at quarterback, another of the 2 or 3 high-end, highly paid transfers, along with Dylan Gabriel up in Oregon. I think the ACC got a whole lot more interesting because of the loss.
Well, remember, the Florida State was plus 140 to win the ACC. They are now plus 600 to win the ACC.
Well, maybe less interesting in the Vegas eyes, but for me, it's a true horse race now.
Clemson 2-1, Miami plus 360, NC State and Florida State 6-1, Louisville 8-1, Virginia Tech 10-1, SMU 14-1, and Georgia Tech, who was 40-1, now 25-1.
We get NC State tonight. We get a look at them tonight.
No, North Carolina. North Carolina, who's 30-1. We'll see them play against Minnesota. I think Minnesota might beat North Carolina today.
Is Coach Kill still up there at Minnesota? Who's there?
Who is the Minnesota coach now? You stumped me. Because remember,
he's the motivating dude at Minnesota. I got his name wrong.
It's Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, it's O'Connell.
Who I like, by the way. Jerry Kill went to New Mexico State and then basically just said, I'm out.
I'm done.
I'm out. Oh, no, I'm thinking of Minnesota Vikings is Kevin O'Connell. Who am I thinking of? Who is it? Oh, is it still PJ Fleck?
It's Fleck.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
the motivating dude. The dude
you're
that,
right.
Mr. Fire Up.
It is still PJ Fleck. I think they're going to beat North Carolina. Tez Walker's gone for North Carolina. Drake May's gone for North Carolina.
I don't dislike Mac Brown, but I do wish ill on him on Saturdays and game days.
Do you?
I do.
Mac Brown is a.
I want him to beat everybody, but
I think Mac Brown's a good guy. Mac Brown has a little BO issue. It was my least favorite thing about working around Mac was.
I didn't want to know that, man.
Just
I did not need to know that.
He would.
You're kidding me.
No, it was dreadful.
No.
Yeah.
What a bizarre thing to know about.
It really is. It really is.
Was it like a consistent thing post-practice?
It was post-practice, pre-practice, press conference, always. I don't. Maybe he was like Matthew McConaughey, and he just didn't believe in deodorant. And like McConaughey always used to say, my natural musk. That's what I like to go like. If Mac was going with his natural musk, it wasn't pleasant. But I always liked Mac. Other than that one thing, that was the only down.
That is such a strange thing to now know.
Yeah.
Now I expect that of McConaughey. I expect the smell of, I don't know, a variety of things all coming together. And something that I don't think would be awful, but different.
And I've been around McConaughey, and he doesn't smell bad. Like McConaughey is right. I think his mom told him that, but he's right. He does have a good natural musk.
Well, I don't want to know that either. Men, I don't want to ever hear any man talking about another man and his musk.
Okay,
it's musk. Moist.
Well,
musk.
Moist and musk are way different things.
They kind of land in the same neighborhood.
But for a guy who admittedly
if you're
doesn't
musky, there might be some moistness around.
For a guy who admittedly doesn't wear
so Mac Brown
deodorant,
stinks.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. It could have.
I don't even know what to do with this, and I feel like I know something that's really cool.
I don't know who I don't know who did his laundry. Like I assume it wasn't Sally, who's like, by the way, the sweetest lady I've ever been
And
around.
Sally is Mrs. Mac Brown.
Yeah, she's an incredible lady. But I don't think she would do the laundry poorly, but maybe someone was, and they weren't using enough detergent, or they were letting his clothes sit too long in the washer. I don't know, but it was always unpleasant.
So Mac had a hygiene issue.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have known this 15
I
years
think he
ago.
always brushed his teeth, but I don't believe he put on protective deodorant.
Well, I mean, but even if you don't, you can shower on the regular and take care of that, I would think.
Yeah. Well, I don't wear the and this is mostly my wife is the driver for this. I don't use like deodorant that has aluminum or whatever.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are allergic to it.
I'm not allergic to it, but my wife is like, it's not good for you. Why would you put it on your body? So I get like this natural deodorant, which isn't as
Like
strong.
Soda ash and
charcoal and whatever. But if you shower enough, it gets the job done.
I buy the prettiest can.
Yeah, you buy like the
if it's a good looking can, I'll give it a shot.
Right guard.
No, I don't. I use antiperspirant. I don't use deodorant.
Okay, you don't have like a combo.
I don't know if it's maybe I do currently.
What do you use? Like Old Spice?
I literally go. I don't have any allegiance, and so if I'm there, I'd like, oh, that looks cool. I'll get that one, or my wife will just pick one out.
What if it's smelly? Or
I've had some ones that I don't like.
Really? And do you remember those ones and say, no, I'm not going to get that?
For the most part.
It's so much easier.
I have a green can right now, and I'm trying to remember the brand.
So you use a spray?
I do use a spray.
Oh, that's bad for you. First of all, aerosol. You don't need that.
Oh, well,
it's got those aluminum.
What's going on in my bathroom? There's a lot of aerosols.
Okay.
There's a lot of chlorofluorocarbons coming out of my bathroom.
Okay.
I have no care for the environment.
I want you to be
all
careful.
that matters is how I look.
And also, everyone's asking about Rob's natural musk.
I have a natural musk.
Rob's not smelly. Like, that's all I care. Like, listen, man, I'm not
time to musk up.
I'm not saying Matthew McConaughey smelled good. What I'm telling you is it wasn't unpleasant. For a guy who admittedly doesn't wear deodorant, you expect there to be some sort of like a cloud. There was no McConaughey doesn't have that. Rob doesn't have that. Right? Like it's so
I don't have a musky after scent.
Mac Brown had a natural musk.
Mac Brown,
yeah,
had a BO issue.
I'm sorry.
That is
sorry
unfortunate.
I'm sorry
to
to report.
Maybe that's
I'm
that
sorry
North
to
Carolina backwoods kind of stuff.
All right, we'll wrap up hour number 1 on the other side. Morning Huddle 94.1.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. I'm one of 5 million active members. I play every day because you know why? It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports because I get to use my knowledge and apply it to win some serious money. And as a player, they invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if your pick don't hit. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with just as simple 4 correct picks. It is that easy to play. You can have fun. It's simple. It's a great playing experience, and you can use your knowledge. How well is Tyreek Hill going to do this week? How is Dak Prescott going to play? If you know, you go play. It's Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code Alamo and get $50 instantly when you play. That's code Alamo on Prize Picks. You get $50 instantly when you play just 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or jessehernandezlaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Look no further than I-10 Ice House, your neighborhood sports headquarters with over a decade of excellence. Catch every thrilling moment on massive 10-foot screens, whether it's the big game or that must-see pay-per-view event. And don't miss out on their daily happy hour specials. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive, proudly serving our community for over 10 years. I-10 Ice House, 9518 Console Drive off Worsbach and 10.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey, pet parents. With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at Progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Morning Huddle. Like how we have a minute, Edwin?
Something like that.
Yeah, I was irresponsible. You
had to tell Mac Brown's smell stories.
I know, I'm sorry.
I think there's some NIL money in it for him.
Might be. Coming up in the next hour, we're going to talk about Caroline Garcia. You may not be familiar with her.
I am unfamiliar.
She lost at the U.S. Open and has gotten a lot of negativity. Not unlike me when I said Dalvin Cook is washed.
Is Caroline Garcia washed?
No, but
she's French.
Yeah. Which isn't a French last name, Garcia, typically. That's interesting, huh? But we'll talk about why she is getting so much hatred and what she attributes it to. We'll also talk about the Steelers making a decision. And Russell Wilson has a chance to set some records this year. And I'm curious your thoughts on if he will do just that. So we got football to talk. We got college football to talk. We'll preview what's going on tonight. We need to talk about Jamar Chase and how the Bengals are handling things. And later in the program, boys and girls, we got some sound from Uncle Jera. Why isn't Dak done yet? I don't know.
Words salad.
It'll get done when I want it to get done. Nobody can't do this like I do it. Mother bleep. All right. Plenty more fun and frivolity and tales of body odor. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM, Floresville. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Notre Dame Leprechauns, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pregame at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. New trouble spot on 35 northbound at Somerset, southwest side of town. This wreck is in the left lane, causing delays from Fisher Road, so about 10 minutes or so. On 35 northbound at Engle, we've got a disabled vehicle center lane blocked. They have picked up the roadwork, 1604 westbound Bitters to I-10 and eastbound Babcock to La Cantera Parkway. That wreck at 35 southbound New Laredo Highway has cleared. And Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys added to the running back room, signing four-time Pro Bowler Dalvin Cook. He will ramp up initially on the practice squad. Cowboys also brought back linebacker Darius Harris, tackle Josh Ball, defensive end Carl Lawson, and wide receiver Jalen Cropper to add to the Jalen list, all on the practice squad. The Houston Astros avoided getting swept, beating Philly 10-0. Jordan Alvarez hit 3 homers. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Discussion being had during the break. The evolution of the MRE. I know we are in a military city, so I want to know, any of you guys out there who are active or recently active, has the MRE evolved over the years, or is it the same old, like the same old meals? Like,
you get the sense that we might not know yet because they're still eating the MREs that were made 15 years ago.
That's quite possible.
The advancement in technology, they're not going to feel for a minute, even though it's already here.
So I was in 98 to 02. And to me, when I could get pork chow mein, that was a big success. The great thing about MRE is none of them taste good. But the great thing was that little bottle of Tabasco
was
would make it all edible.
I remember
whatever it was.
There was a chicken stew that I liked. Now I was in from 85 to 93.
Okay.
And I remember there was a chicken stew that I liked. I liked cheese. The cheese I always traded for.
There was cheese and jalapeno cheese.
See, we didn't have jalapeno cheese to my memory.
But
the crackers were like big crackers,
yep.
like 4x4. Hard as rocks, but they weren't bad.
The downside to when you got cheese was it meant you didn't get peanut butter.
You're right.
And peanut butter was that was the best quick energy. That was a sustainer for me.
So have they improved? Let us know.
Yeah, I want to know. And if you, if you have a couple laying around and you want to bring them in,
I don't really want to know.
I think we should know.
Would you eat one like right now if you had MREs in your house?
I would eat one. No, I mean, would I eat one like what do I want to eat tonight? No, but would I try one for science? Yeah.
Okay.
You wouldn't?
Yeah, no, I would if one
if
for
somebody
science.
brought us in and it brought them
Yeah.
in and said, "Hey, how's the MRE in 2024 compared to 90?"
Do they come with heating elements now? Like internal?
Did yours not come with heating elements?
Well, no, I think they did.
Yeah,
but
you pour the water in the bag and you drop the food in there and it
But I've
heats
seen
up.
some of them where now you just kind of break something on the bottom and you shake it around and it heats up for you instead of having to pour and do all that. That's what I meant.
don't
Like,
know.
have we advanced to the point where the bag heats itself?
Yeah, I didn't. I usually just ate mine cold. I mean, it wasn't going to taste good anyway, so I would just eat it.
I was Air Force, man. I had my butler bring it to me.
Let's see. My son just finished basic, said the MREs are like nothing what I described for 20 years ago. They're actually not bad. Veggie omelet.
Now, see, vegetarian MREs, that's a huge
vegetarian MREs.
It's a little scary. How old are these vegetables?
Chili Mac. Oh, I remember Chili Mac.
Oh, Ryan tells us it's still the same green heat pack. So we're still dealing with 20th century technology.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to know. I want to know.
You know, when you go to the like hunting stores, like the Hunter's Extravaganza, and when you see what's available, that should be what's given to our soldiers. I mean,
oh, please. It should be.
I mean, some of that stuff is delicious. Powdered meatloaf. Who'd have thought?
The worst you can get is like any kind of like a pork steak or something like that. It's like a chunk of just meat.
Yeah, that's kind of gelatinous.
That is the worst.
Meat cake, as George Carlin would say. It's not meat. It's not cake. It's meat cake.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Ugh.
So, I'm gonna. I got to try it. I got to compare 1998 MREs to 2024 MREs.
But I do think to truly compare, you need to be starving and dirty.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because the only time an MRE is ever any good at all, you were starving and filthy.
Well, I don't remember an MRE ever being good.
Well, no,
I know it's never happy to eat one.
One in particular, I was like, this is the finest meal I've ever had.
Oh, no, I was never that.
I do.
But you know what? I also remember, like, I don't know, when I would be out in the field for a few weeks at a time, and it was like a big treat when they'd heat up the kitchen for you. The truck would come out and serve breakfast. See, inevitably, it was like these nasty eggs, and it was like,
grunts. You didn't have croissants brought to you?
No.
At noon?
God, no.
You guys didn't have high tea?
No, unfortunately.
You joined the wrong service.
That's why I would just pack whatever I wanted with me. I ate a lot of ramen. Like I would crush ramen packs so I could fit more of them into my day pack.
Oh, we didn't carry the stuff.
Well, I had to carry a bunch of stuff anyway. Once you're carrying like 100 pounds, like what's 102 pounds? And you can have some, Well,
I never carried 100 nothing.
Well, okay.
See, I'm there. See, again, we had a different level of MRE.
Yeah, you had a different life than I did.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah,
good for you. Caroline Garcia. I think it's like Carolina.
What is up with
Garcia?
What is up with tennis players?
Well, Caroline lost at the U.S. Open, and she got some rough messages on the internet. Now, but you know who backed her up? Coco Gauff, who's used to losing when she's not supposed to.
What is it with tennis players? Stop reading the replies. Stop. Just don't read them.
She was the 28th seed at the U.S. Open, but was eliminated by Hinata Zarazua, a gal that was ranked 92nd, making her U.S. Open debut. But she talked about the hundreds of messages directed her way, including telling her that she should commit suicide, and one that said, "I hope your mom dies soon." And she says, "I have tools. I've done work to protect myself from this hate, but still, this is not okay.
It's not okay.
It really worries me when I think about young players coming up. They have to go through this. People that still haven't fully developed as a human, and that really might be affected by this hate." Well, she's blaming sports betting, which she's probably right, first of all.
Yeah.
I think generally in the days before widespread sports betting, like when sports betting was only legal in Nevada, you were in, now mind you, Twitter didn't exist then, but you were less likely to come across people saying, hey, you killed my parlay, I hate you, blah,
It was being said, but you just never heard it.
Right. But now everyone's got a sports book on their phone. Everyone likes to have action on the games. So when a big favorite loses, inevitably it's a parlay killer. And those people are internet braves. Everybody on the internet is very, very brave when it comes to people who have a platform, because in their mind, first of all, the likelihood that someone like Caroline Garcia is going to respond to someone with 15 followers is very low. And if she does, even if it's a F off, that's a win for the guy with 15 followers. Can you see? Look at you. I'm in your head rent free. I've learned this from Twitter. I've learned that anytime someone tells you how horrible you are, if you reply to them, they win. Like if that's what they're hoping for. They're hoping for that interaction where you, like, they say something crazy, outlandish to you, and you reply, and then they can say, "Ha, I've got you. I'm in your head." That's the big win for internet troll. I can imagine it. When you're a pro athlete and there are people who are losing their $5 parlays, and that's what people think, by the way. If they lose a $5 parlay that was supposed to pay $4,000, they think you cost them $4,000, not $5. It's like, okay.
And before that, it's fantasy football.
Exactly.
Blamed them.
And it's still that, by the way. Fantasy football is still a big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You fumbled. You threw these picks.
Now, and I get that it is a different generation. I do, but it seems to be tennis in particular where we are awfully thin-skinned. Tennis, I don't know what it is, the way they're brought up. Maybe it's because they're so young playing that we've got 16-year-olds on the center court.
Well, you do have a lot of it. More than any other sport, you've got young people playing.
Well, basketball players are highly notable about 16, 17.
But they're not
quite like
professionals.
international tennis
you're not
types.
playing in Wimbledon.
But, some of me just goes, because I'm of a different generation where this all to me seems, if it's not face-to-face, if it's not related to, if I don't know that you have a genuine effect on what I have to do or say as far as a responder, I don't care.
Right.
As an athlete, what are you talking about? Why should you care? I don't see why these tennis players get caught up in some Twitter person sitting in a basement saying something. You go, well, why should I care? Why do you let that even get to you? Now, if it was a known tennis type, writer, player, or something else, and they say something negative, you're like, all right, now it's on. You're in my sphere of influence. But
I think anytime someone says something about, like, I hope your mom dies soon.
Like, why does that even register with you? That should just, that's not even real. It's ones and zeros. Let it fly by.
You're right. But I do see, like,
the next generation, I get it. I was not raised as this is a true environment. To me, I had to be, and I'm going to use one of those words like, what was ultra credit? I had to be inculcated into the digital world. To me, it was all fake. It's not real. It is real, especially to those that were raised in it. And I get that it can get to you, but at some point, somebody around you at 16 goes, you're a professional athlete doing something that 99.99% of the world couldn't even dream of doing. And you're letting them pick on you for doing that?
Right.
I mean, that you are so far ahead of them. This should not even register.
So when I was early in radio, my default, I used to get really pissed off when people would say things on the internet that I didn't think they would say in my face. So I was big on, okay, why don't you just come down here and I'll beat the piss out of you? Like, how about we just do it that way?
Well, they win. That's the idea.
And now I've gotten to now where I don't really, it doesn't bother
Say
me.
what you will, man.
Yeah, like, okay.
In fact, I kind of grade by how good you are at it.
Yeah. If you hope I die in a fire, that's all right.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You're an odd person.
You should
but
come up
because
with a better way for me to go down.
Yeah, because of my. If you want me to die because of an opinion about sports, you should probably go have sex. Like is my thought.
Or,
but
yeah, get over it. Or wish something like, I hope you die in a volcanic eruption. See, wish the kind of thing on me that fire
in a tsunami.
Yeah, something like that.
I hope a tsunami overtakes your town and you
somebody
drown.
goes, wow, that was awful.
Yeah. But she says tournaments and the sport keep partnering with betting companies, which keep attracting new people to unhealthy betting. The days of cigarette brands sponsoring sports are long gone, yet here we are promoting betting companies which actively destroy the life of some people.
Uh-huh. Keep going.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they should be banned.
Don't get me wrong, because I like getting paid.
People are free to do whatever they want with their money, but maybe we should not promote them. Also, if someone decided to say this thing to me in public, he could have legal issues. So why online are we free to do anything? Shouldn't we reconsider anonymity online? I do believe that. I wish that everyone had to be held accountable for what they say online. That'll never happen, but God, I wish it would. I really wish it would. But you hear a lot of nasty things, your appearance, your family's appearance, all these things. That's Coco Gauff now. If you're already struggling with your own mental issues, on top of that, you have people digging deeper. It is tough.
It is tough.
The key is just you've got to find a way to block it out. And you know what? God bless. I'll be honest. If I weren't in the business that I'm in, I wouldn't have social media. Like, I'd prefer not to. I
wouldn't interact with it. I
got rid of Facebook. Oh my God. The day I got rid of Facebook was like a weight being lifted off my shoulders, because then you like all these miserable people. But the thing with Facebook that makes it different from Twitter is all the miserable people on Facebook, you know them. And that made it so much worse.
Yeah, I know.
With Twitter, it's just like random people who are miserable, and it's like, okay, whatever. But on Facebook, it was like, no, I actually have like a life connection with you, and you're a terrible person. But the less social media I could have, the better. But it's just part of the job that I do, that I need it.
Did they need it?
I don't know. I don't know that a pro athlete needs it. I mean, you probably need to build your brand.
There's a certain financial component to your social media life now.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is, why is it the international? Because when she said, if you said something to me in person, we'd have legal issues. Not in the United States. Somebody come scream in your face. You have a right to free speech, as long as they're not interfering or harming or libelous. They can say just about whatever they want. So there's not legal issues here, and that maybe it's the international attitude about this, because they are while they have fewer personal rights as far as facial recognition and videos and things like that, they do take their person, because they've given up so much. The other stuff they take very, very seriously as far as privacy goes. And I think that there's an international feel to this, but I can't get over why every year it's another woman tennis player going, stop being mean to me on the socials. It's part of our world now. This is nothing new.
Nikola Jokic doesn't have social media. Kawhi Leonard doesn't have social media, because they both, I think, A, they found it to be a waste of time.
And their mental health is at stake.
But B, yeah, it's like, why risk, the nonsense? Why deal with it? And if you're, you know what? I have a lot of respect for guys that can do that. Like, I wish that it was.
Yeah, I don't foster it. I don't reply to it. I see it, and it just, okay, well, moving on. Because I always figure, what do you think Michael Jordan would have been like? Do you think if he would have been? I think he'd have been a little bit like Kevin Durant. I think Jordan
would have been petty.
I think he would have been petty and spiteful and had burner accounts, and I think that Kobe Bryant might have been the same way.
You know who I think was lucky that he wasn't around in the social media age is Charles Barkley.
And Barkley, my goodness.
Barkley can handle it now. But even now, like when you talk about Barkley not having rings or whatever, you can see him visibly get kind of upset if it's strangers talking noise to him.
So
he wouldn't have dealt well with that.
While I bemoan this generation, I can't imagine those of my age going through this and how they would have responded, because I don't think it would have been good for Michael. I think it would have been to the detriment of his career. LeBron was born at the perfect age. It was perfect for his life. Michael, it would have ruined him.
All right, let's talk about the new quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, Connecticut water softeners have been around San Antonio for a long, long time. In fact, yesterday I was leaving the office and there was a really pretty printed up car with the Connecticut water softener. The number was on it, 656 pure. And that's a number you need to remember. If you see that Connecticut car driving around, you wonder, well, they must be headed toward a customer. I bet they were putting in a brand new Connecticut water softener just around the corner from where I am here, because they heard what I was telling everybody, that right now, if you want a Connecticut, you can have one in your home for 90 days, free of charge, no commitment. You can find out what all of San Antonio, South and Central Texas know, that Connecticut's were made in the United States with San Antonio in mind. Our aquifer water makes some fine sweet tea and some good old light beer, but I'll tell you what, the stuff that water leaves behind is stuff you don't want to be drinking, and you certainly don't want it in your pipes. So head it off at the pass. Get yourself a water treatment system that's going to protect your home, yourself, your family, your pets, your plants, and everything that touches that water. Remember, with a Connecticut, you don't plug it in. It saves you on salt. And when it does break down, the warranties that come along with your Connecticut, if it does break down, are apples to apples the best they've had. I couldn't believe what I got. I'll tell you what, I haven't even had to use my warranty. Call them today. Find out what I know. The number 656 pure. You need more details. It's ConnecticutSA.com for all of that. Hey, go get yourself a Connecticut, and you can come by and thank me later.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chum Plus, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Hi, this is Congressman Joaquin Castro. Here in Military City, USA, we're proud to stand by our veterans. Every year, my office is honored to help San Antonio veterans and military families with delayed benefits, claims, and service questions. Just know that if you need a hand, we're here for you. Call 210-348-8216 or visit castro.house.gov/help to learn more. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Football season is here. It's the greatest time of the year. Jason Minnick's here from The Blitz for UnderdogFantasy.com. You know, I've been playing Underdog for a long time now, and over 1 million fans got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog. You, too, can join and win up to 325 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats. Getting signed up is easy. Go to the app or UnderdogFantasy.com and use my promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a highly discounted pick to use on your first pick'em entry, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org. Underdog Fantasy, promo code STAR to claim your new customer offer of a Give Me First pick and your deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Get signed up now at UnderdogFantasy.com.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Notre Dame Leprechauns, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Well, not only have the Steelers announced their quarterback, seems like during our little show here, the New England Patriots have done the same.
The lamb to the slaughter.
The New England Patriots have announced it. Jacoby Brissett will start week 1 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Drake May will serve as the backup quarterback.
Isn't
That
Brissett
according to
already
Adam
hurt?
Schefter.
Isn't Brissett already hurt?
Well, they said it's not a big deal. Don't worry about him. He's tough. He's okay.
I saw him get planted on like the first play of the game the other night.
I think this is a mistake.
Well, how long is it a mistake? I mean, it'll be a mistake if Drake May isn't playing by the end of the year. But if that offensive line is that bad, I kind of get it.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I just don't want to waste development time.
I get it. But the car incident is going to forever be brought up.
Yeah. But you know what? A lot of guys play behind bad offensive lines and play well. And let's see if you can do it. You know what I mean?
And I watched Jacoby Brissett on the first play of the game take a blitz to the face. And I thought, yikes.
Yeah, I know you don't want to get your investment broken.
So now we get Russell in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And I saw a stat earlier.
Also, I think a mistake, but
the 4th starting quarterback in 4 consecutive years for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Tomlin-led, we don't change for nothing Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, they haven't found anything.
Oh, my gosh. You know, you get lost in your own problems as a fan of whatever your team is. And now when whatever little problem you had kind of gets settled, as Cowboy fan can look around a little bit as CD comes into camp, and you look up there and go, oh, man, Pittsburgh's in trouble. And you look up to Cincinnati and go, why is their wide receiver just walking around practice and not practicing? And you look over in San Francisco and you see limping Brandon Ayuk. You think, well, you know, it was bad here, but it's bad a lot of different places. And right now, it's bad there. It's bad. Russell shouldn't be starting. But I think Tomlin's afraid that if I don't start this cat, he will break my locker room in half.
You know what? I think they're past that point.
You think so?
I think like Russell Wilson, I don't think he's got the clout to own a locker room anymore. I just don't.
I think by personality, he could do it.
Maybe. But the this is a careful what you wish for thing for the Cowboys, because like you mentioned, 4th starting quarterback in 4 years. It was, Ben, obviously, and then Mason Rudolph, though that wasn't on purpose. Yeah. Kenny Pickett. No, Mitch Trubisky and then Kenny Pickett. But this is, first of all, it's an example of what happens when you miss on a quarterback.
Twice.
And Mitch Trubisky was not it. And
Pickett?
Or not Mitch. That's who I meant. Yeah. Kenny Pickett. Not Mitch Trubisky wasn't their fault. Yeah. They brought him in to try and fix it. Didn't matter. But yeah, Kenny Pickett was not it. And now it's like, oh, well, what do we do?
Well, do you think they looked at Fields and went, nope?
I don't know if they looked at him and went, nope, but I think they looked at him and
not yet.
I think the mindset for the Steelers is different than the mindset for the Patriots. The Steelers still believe they've got, the Steelers went to the playoffs last year.
Yeah, no,
they believe, and by the way, they went to the playoffs with a combination of Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and Mitch Trubisky starting football games for them. So in their minds, we've got to go with the guy who we think gives us the best chance to win this year.
But you don't agree with
it? For 1 year, I could see the argument. My argument against it would be the Steelers don't really have a chance to win anything. Do they have a chance to make the playoffs?
That's my thought.
Sure. Yeah. Could you be 9-8 and sneak into the playoffs? Yes, but could you win a Super Bowl? Absolutely not.
I saw Louis Riddick yesterday of ESPN, the former GM, And I normally appreciate what he has to say. And he said as soon as he heard this that Russell was never not going to be the starter. That Fields should have known the moment that Russell had signed with the Steelers that Wilson was going to be the starter, that Fields was never going to be good enough, adequate enough, wasn't going to do it, that because Tomlin is in a situation where there is just enough talent there to think playoff and hope for something weird to happen. That's why that Fields should have known that no matter what you do, you're not going to get this gig, because if it's next year, you might get it. But this year, there's still just enough in the tank to let the guy who's been there and done that go do it.
Well, it's also a free roll. I mean, there's no investment in Russell Wilson.
Or Fields, for that matter, is there? Did they have
not much of one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, literally, they pay his salary. They don't even pay Russ's salary.
Thanks, Denver.
But no, they're thinking, man, if he's got it, we'll see it. And it is, I guess it's tempting to go with the guy who you've seen do something big before versus the guy who has maybe you're hoping some untapped potential, and see if that guy's still got anything left before you make the transition. Because if you go the other way, chances are good you go with the young guy, the old guy's not going to,
he's pouting,
you ain't going to see it.
And
although there are examples, Joe Flacco's a good example where every once in a while these old dogs show up and, hey, we got a little fight left in him.
But Russell's a different cat. I think there's just the Russellness that I have never kind of admitted is bad. I'm still a Wilson fan. When I think of Russell Wilson, I picture him in Seattle, evading pressure, getting it deep, making the play, even if it was by the hair of his chin, but always right there, a winner. He was everything that Baker Mayfield wanted to be. And there's some of me that still thinks that there's some of that there. But the attitude part, I've never been able to adjust myself to, that he must be one of the monumental bad dudes to deal with. The arrogance, the stardom, the your people talk to my people kind of thing, the saying the quote, the right quote all the time.
I'll pull back the curtain for a minute. When I was in the process of discussing coming here to San Antonio and taking this job, I was listening to your show and they wanted me to get a feel for you. And I heard you do a show where you said, I still think Russell Wilson can be a top 5 quarterback in this league.
There's something that I can't get over, but there's a mentality that I always appreciated. And I still felt like there was something there. And even after I thought Sean Payton was, arrogant in his decision making. But Tomlin's a different cat. And if Tomlin could put up with it,
I don't see it. I mean, again, it's been a while since we saw Russ play at a high level.
It has been.
And I'm a big believer in after a year or two of that's what you are. You know what I mean? And that's why the last time that's why I said the last time I saw Aaron Rodgers and it wasn't good. And then now he's missed a year since then. I don't expect it to be better. Typically it doesn't work that way when you're in your late 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And with Russ, it's
Russ
was always a guy who, once his athleticism started to slip, there was going to be problems.
But there was the situation in Denver where it was a nightmare. I mean, because he put together what he thought would be a dream. He got his OC, he got his guy, he got down to Denver, and it just was awful. And then Peyton showed up and made it even worse.
Yeah.
So even as an old guy,
Sean Payton didn't sign up for him. He didn't want him.
I agree.
He didn't pick him.
But it also goes to show that even with a guy with a Super Bowl under his belt, can still land in a situation that even with all the skills that he's had and the savvy that got him the ring and the success, can't overcome the situation he's in.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much I want to hold Denver against him. So I still look at him like I look at Aaron Rodgers as, while the lottery ticket's been scratched, I still got one more number. I still got one more number, and it might be the right number.
I just look at the Steelers as I would go with Justin Fields because I would rather play for the higher ceiling.
Now, do you think Russell will finish this season?
No,
I don't either. I think you're going to get your wish. Probably, I wouldn't say sooner than later, but by midseason, Pittsburgh will be out of it.
And let me make it clear. I don't know if Justin Fields is good.
I don't know either.
I mean, I really don't.
No.
But I feel pretty like the thing I feel the most confident in is that Russell is no longer a top level quarterback. Like, I don't even think he's a top half of the league quarterback.
See, I still believe he is. And I still believe that he's got enough savvy that he can be enough of a difference maker to keep him in it. But I don't think he's got enough around him to get where he wants.
Their bye week's right in the middle of the season.
Yeah, there we go.
That might be the time.
And then maybe Russell's been given that and knows it. If I was Tomlin, I'd tell him, look, man, if we're in the playoff running, I will never sit you. As long as we are chasing a possibility, you will be my starter. But the moment I feel like there's a question, you're going to be watching.
I got to say, they've got about, considering the AFC North I think is the toughest division in football, they've got the easiest first half of the league or first half of the season schedule. They don't even catch an AFC North team in the first 8 games. It's Atlanta, Denver, Chargers, Colts, Cowboys, Raiders, Jets, Giants.
So up until the Colts,
if you're not at least 4-4 with that,
oh yeah,
it's a nightmare.
I agree, and I think Russell. That's why they've got him to start, because I think he's in the best position to take advantage of this weak start.
And if they start out 5-3 or 6-2,
they might
keep rolling with Russell.
I think that's the case. But
if you're below 500, it's time to hand over the keys, bub.
I agree with you.
Let's see what he can do. And it helps that you hit that bye week, and then you've got Washington, who's not very good, and then you get into the meat of things. They've got 4 straight games. Oh my God, their second half schedule after the Washington game, it's Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Browns, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. Russ might be happy to hand over the keys after the bye week. Actually, it might be a good idea. But no, I think that the floor with Justin Fields is probably lower than the floor with Russ, but the ceiling is certainly higher at this point too. Like, if Justin Fields can live up to potential, and again, I don't know if he can, I think he can be a better player right now than Russell Wilson, because physically he's got more gifts right now. But Russ feels like he's the safe play. I can't explain. I mean, the only explanation to me with New England is that they don't want to get Drake May hurt, because
it's all that. I think with him, I don't care how good Jacoby Brissett plays.
They've admittedly said Drake May outplayed Jacoby Brissett in the preseason.
So,
like, if this were a real open competition, Drake May would be the quarterback.
Brissett could open the season with 300-yard games and no interceptions, and it doesn't matter.
But we know what Jacoby Brissett is.
Right. It doesn't matter. You're going to be giving up the ghost. Drake, you're going to be playing. On the other side of that, as long as Russell's running, Russell gets to start. It's a different place and a different a time frame in the growth of a franchise. They're in the playoff hunt.
All right, let's look at some of these college football games.
Ooh, boy.
Starting tonight on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we're back out on the road. 4-9 Cigars in Stone Oak, and boy, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. Couple of days away from the UTSA season opener. UTSA Athletic Director Lisa Campos will join us at 4:30.
We'll talk some Texans football as well with the General, John McClain, coming up at 5:15.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Hey, Joe Exotic, you there?
I am.
So what's been going on in prison this week?
Not much. Just because of the politics in prison, because I'm gay.
What turned you gay, Joe Exotic?
You know, I've been asking myself that for 40 years, but I think I got sucked into it.
Oh, no.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Every Saturday morning. Check out the YouTube channel, complete with live video stream at jcwshow.com.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign. all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMSOY.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all day freshness.
Paramount Plus is once again your home to stream the NFL on CBS. Follow all the action and stream your live local NFL on CBS game every Sunday, all the way through the AFC Championship. Sign up, sign in, and start streaming Paramount Plus today.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We'll start with the good news. They picked up that road work finally. 1604 westbound Bitters to I-10. And eastbound Babcock to La Cantera Parkway. With the combination of rush hour, you're still going to notice some delays. We do have an accident, 35 northbound at Somerset, southwest side of town. It's now off to the shoulder, still causing about a 10-12 minute delay from Fisher Road. 90 eastbound to 11 to 410, far west side of town, traffic rolling stop and go, about 20 minutes or so. And Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, time saver traffic.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Happy College Football Day, everybody. Yeah, we've made it, friends. Week 0 was a nice little appetizer. We had 4 games. None of them were particularly intriguing, although one of them was sickening. As Mike Norvell says.
Sickening.
Sickening.
So our first game tonight goes off at 5 o'clock. Howard and Rutgers.
I guess so, yeah. Yeah, that'll be on the Big Ten Network. We don't get the Big Ten Network here, do we?
You can. I think I get it, but
okay.
I don't ever watch it. That's the other part of the new football season is finding your team on the channel that you're used to watching, because it probably has changed.
You know what? I really love ESPN Plus because, I love and hate ESPN Plus. First of all, ESPN Plus for being like a Disney app, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you think Walt Disney, like you think this app should work so smoothly. It should be, I mean, people are paying out the ass for it. It should be so smooth. It is wonky. The clunkiest app, that ESPN Plus. It drives me crazy. The other thing I hate about ESPN Plus is I feel like when you pay for a a subscription service, you shouldn't have to watch commercials.
Well, that used to be the case. Now you got to pay and then pay more for no commercials. Just pay for the privilege of watching these commercials.
But maybe even worse than that is when they don't have commercial inventory sold.
And you get
it's like
slide.
Your thing is in break, and it's like just shows the same slide over and over again. It's like, oh God, just get back to this thing.
How low rent? Just leave a camera on. I don't care what I'm looking at.
Yeah, but you'd think they'd be able to sell like, even cheap ad space there. It's better than, it's like a hotel room. Like, hey, it's midnight. I know we charge $200 a night, but if we can get $80 for this room, $80 is better than zero.
You'd think, but that doesn't fit the model.
Yeah. First game is at 5. That is Rutgers and Howard. Rutgers a 36.5 point favorite. Again, there's a lot of FBS versus FCS schools. You know what? You were right. North Carolina State also plays tonight. They play Western Carolina, 32.5 point favorites.
A lot of paycheck games tonight.
Wake Forest plays North Carolina A&T. Central Florida versus New Hampshire.
You mean them of the Big 12? Central Florida?
Big 12, Central Florida. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
UL Monroe takes on Jackson State. Former Coach Prime hangout. Buffalo takes on Lafayette. Bowling Green takes on Fordham. Central Michigan, and it's against Central Connecticut. Arkansas against Arkansas Pine Bluff. This is the biggest point spread of the week.
Line.
Arkansas is minus 48.5. And I was like, that's crazy. But then I looked up Arkansas Pine Bluff, like their last 5 games against FBS schools, they've lost by an average of 48 points.
Oh, there you go.
So they just said, well, that's the line. 48. There you go. Toledo plays Duquesne. Mizzou, 47-point favorites against Murray State.
The Racers.
Number 11 in the country, Mizzou. Number 22 in the country, Kansas, takes on Lindenwood. The only matchup, I believe, of 2 Power 4 teams today is between North Carolina and Minnesota. North Carolina, a 2-point road favorite. Colorado and North Dakota State. Let's pause here for a moment. Colorado is a 9.5-point favorite. The total 60.5. Colorado last year popped off the season with a win against TCU.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take that as this? Coach Prime did a good job preparing when he had extra time to prepare. And could that translate to here? Do you think that that's one of the things that Dion could be good at is like, hey, you've got all summer to get ready for this game, install a game plan. What are we going to put together? Because it worked against TCU and then worked less as the season went on. What do you expect out of Colorado this season and in this game in particular?
I don't have any idea what to expect. He's got a whole new team again, it feels like. Mad at the press. His son can play quarterback. I don't think his son gets the credit he's due from the general public. I know that the scouts certainly appreciate his skill. But I think that Dion has worked himself into the Colorado versus everybody mentality. There's a lot of people rooting against him. A lot of people that probably should be rooting for what has been a rather remarkable success story. I mean, think of the money that has flowed into the Colorado football program, despite the fact that they were awful last year. They're more notable than any other team in the Big 12. They are the most talked about team in the Big 12 as we sit right now. And most of everybody, but for those that wear the gold and black, are rooting against him.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's by design, but you forced yourself to look really, really good all the time, Colorado. You're going to have to win, and not only win, but win impressive from here on out, because the moment you stumble, here everybody's coming for you. I find myself kind of rooting against him. I do, and I don't know if that's the best thing for a Colorado program that's still trying to grow a little bit to become this arch rival, this Miami. Well, Miami could back it up in the day because they had the talent to do it, and Colorado doesn't. And you want to be this program that's separate and different from everybody else. Well, you better be able to back it up.
Right. Yeah, it's I'm with you. I don't expect much from them. I don't know how a team that's just going to hit reset once a year can possibly, succeed unless you're bringing in the best possible players, which I don't think that they are. But he certainly got a few kids that can make a difference. And in a weaker Big 12, I don't know, maybe.
I think they have a shot. I mean, when you have a first-round quarterback, you've got defense that can fly to the ball. They saw that despite as bad as things were, they are still improved last year by 3 games. Shedeur Sanders is the numbers when you look deep, over 3,000 yards, almost a 70% completion rate, only 3 interceptions. But he was in trouble all last season. He was running for his life. They improved the offensive line. I think that they have as good a shot as any team other than the top of the echelon, the upper echelon. They're right there. Depth will be an issue, as it always will be with a team that's living on transfer.
Well, I think offensive line is the key. That was something that obviously you got to make excuses for your boy. That was a big excuse last year, was they just didn't have any offensive line. It was a legitimate excuse, though. Like, they didn't have an offensive line. It was a disaster. And Shedeur Sanders was less effective under pressure. The other thing is defense. I don't believe you can fix a defense over one offseason that was as bad as Colorado's was. That said, in the Big 12, I don't know who's going to play real good defense. So it's possible you can come things together. I wonder myself if I've got a built-in bias against this Colorado team, and I want them to fail, so I just assume they will. But I don't think that they're going to be very good.
Well, we didn't talk about Travis Hunter as another going to be a first-round draft pick. And remember, with Hunter, it became, my gosh, give him a break. Remember, he was playing offense, defense, special teams. He played every snap of at least one football game. Every snap. I'm going to say that again. That last year, Travis Hunter, offense, defense, special teams, averaged 112 plays a game. He took over 100 snaps in 7 of his 9 games.
Yeah.
Including 150 against Stanford, where he never left the game. That shows you that the team is shallow.
Yeah, for sure.
But he is
if you don't get
ridiculously
hurt,
talented.
it doesn't matter that much.
But he is ridiculously talented. Colorado's going to be fun, and I think most of us are like you. We want them to be successful. We want them to be entertaining, but I find myself rooting against them because I don't like the way their coach is handling the program itself.
I'm going to say this, even though I do think their defense is going to be an issue, I think Colorado may be a team to play the unders on, because I think they're going to be a lot slower this year. I think last year you saw early in the season, they tried to go fast, and Shedeur was getting killed, and they know that without him, they're dead. So they're going to slow things down, kind of try to protect them. And I think that's particularly relevant in this matchup, because North Dakota State is also willing to grind. So I would be surprised if this thing gets over the 60.5. Jacksonville State takes on Coastal Carolina. I've got a play on this game. I'll give you guys that later on in the show in the daily lines. My one of my favorite plays of the day. Alcorn State is at UAB. Trent Dilfer's guys take the field tonight. Tulane gets Sela. Tulsa gets Northwestern State. Utah gets Southern Utah. Illinois against Eastern Illinois. And the nightcap on True TV.
Really?
Sacramento State against San Jose State. What a matchup, boys and girls. What a
I am kind of
terrible matchup.
Eager to see Utah, though.
Yeah, Utah bringing back Cam Rising. He's like their Frank Harris, Dr. Cam Rising. They are the team, apparently the team to beat in the Big 12. That they are picked to win that thing. They are a force at home. I never want to bet on Utah when they're on the road. I never want to bet against Utah when they're at home. I don't do it blindly, but I won't do the opposite. Like I won't pick against Utah in their building. I won't bet on Utah when they're away from Salt Lake. But yeah, that is a hell of a home field advantage. And even against Southern Utah, who's not going to have a whole lot of travel, I expect we see a pretty good showing out of the Utes.
And I think
did you
finally,
say Utes?
Ute? Kyle Whittingham will finally get the respect. Well, he's respected amongst his peers. I don't think nationally people have any idea how good a coach Kyle
He's
Whittingham
legit.
is.
He's legit. But now it's also like winning the Big 12 is like winning the Sun Belt.
It's the Mountain West
You know
now.
what I mean? It's like, oh, yeah, hey, great job. Are you going to take a big job now? You know what I mean? That's what it feels like.
Because he's mentioned for every open gig.
Yeah.
At least he was for the last several years. Now he's about to age out of it. But he will bring the defense to the Big 12. He will be the one team that brings defense.
All right. Again, we'll talk more about these games in depth come time for the daily lines. When we come back, we're going to hear from Jera. We hadn't heard from Jera in a while. We'll see what he's got to say. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding the work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio Sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Jungla, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by England, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Never underestimate the power of kindness. Most of the time, we think being kind is doing random nice things or smiling a lot, but it is oh so much more than that. Kindness is love in action. It's love with the work gloves on. It's stepping in and being helpful where others need help, direction, a word, or sometimes just a break. The Apostle Paul, when trying to help us understand what love is, writes that love is kind. This world can be a cold place when it comes to verbalizing harsh opinions on talent or appearance. Words can feel like slashes. We all know this firsthand. This is why stories of unexpected kindness always stop us in mid-stampede and touch our hearts. They remind us what we intuitively know, that we should be helpful, generous with what we have, and encouraging with our words. And it shouldn't be surprising, but the norm. This is Mark Absher, the MacArthur Park Church of Christ, with a reminder that every day we have opportunities to be kind to other people. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Football season is here. It's the greatest time of the year. Jason Minix here from the Blitz for UnderdogFantasy.com. You know, I've been playing Underdog for a long time now, and over 1 million fans got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog. You too can join and win up to 325 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats. Getting signed up is easy. Go to the app or UnderdogFantasy.com and use my promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a highly discounted pick to use on your first pick'em entry, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org. Underdog Fantasy, promo code STAR to claim your new customer offer of a Give Me First pick and your deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Get signed up now at UnderdogFantasy.com.
The Twin Liquors dollar sale is here. We dropped the price on all wine and spirits to the absolute lowest, then at $1. It's how we say thank you to our customers. Don't miss the dollar sale, now through Saturday, only at Twin Liquors.
As fall approaches, you have a lot to prepare for. Back to school, sporting events, family gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve. So this fall, no matter what you're prepping for, you can prioritize your family's health and make a game plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor or pharmacist to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know that driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal? And if you drive while you're high, law enforcement can definitely tell. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
Fall's coming, you have a lot to prepare for. Back to school, family gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve, so this fall make a plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like we do have a couple of new trouble spots. Let's start with the stall at I-10 westbound at Hildebrand. That stall quickly moved off the main lane. It's now off to the shoulder. I-10 eastbound at Roosevelt stalled. It's also off to the shoulder. And another at 1604 northbound 151. Disabled vehicle has the shoulder block. Now it's heavy on 35 southbound Solms Road on down to 410. That should take you a solid 25, 28 minutes to get through. Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, time saver traffic.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys added to the running back room, signing four-time Pro Bowler Dalvin Cook, who will ramp up initially on the practice squad. Cowboys also brought back linebacker Darius Harris, tackle Josh Ball, defensive end Carl Lawson, and wide receiver Jalen Cropper to add to the Jalen list, all on the practice squad. The Houston Astros avoided getting swept, beating Philly 10-0. Jordan Alvarez hit 3 homers. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Seeing a lot of Russell defenders on the Brigade Bar. You guys should look at stats some. Come on. That's John. And then somebody earlier was like, all these guys do is talk and make bad takes. Oh, that was a Jalen. Because, bro, Russ threw for 3,000 yards, 26 TDs, and 8 picks last year in a dumpster fire. He doesn't have something in the tank? Okay, listen, guys. If you guys want to use football card stats, go ahead. But we live in a world, guys, where there are now advanced stats that will show you how guys were really playing that are simpler than he threw this many yards and this many touchdowns. A kind of a catch-all stat. First of all, his I use PFF. I believe in PFF. They grade every play down to like the should this have been an interception, should it have not been. Russ was not good last year. He was better than he was the year before, where he was like one of the worst in the league. He was a disaster But last year he wasn't good. But QBR I look at as generally like an easy catch-all quarterback stat. Here's the list of players who had a worse QBR than Russ last year. And you tell me if these guys are guys that you're really excited about. Kyler Murray, Justin Fields, Sam Howell, Aiden O'Connell, Desmond Ridder, Kenny Pickett, Mac Jones, Bryce Young, Zach Wilson. That's it. Those are the guys that Russ was better than last year.
You can list those. You can name a bunch of guys. All you got to tell me is Denver was willing to pay him $39 million
to go away.
Now, you can give me 3,000 yards passing. You can give me offensive mastery. You can give me whatever you want. Just like Jimbo Fisher. There are people that, you know what? I will pay anything so I don't have to listen or hear from you ever again.
Yes.
That's all you need to know. You can defend him as long as you want. There's a team out there that paid him $39 million. They could have kept him and sat him on the bench. They could have kept him and used him for whatever. They said, go away, here's your check. That's all I need to. That's all you need to know. This is a competitive organization. You don't have to like each other to go win. Lots of people hate each other. They paid him $39 million to go away. The tank is nearly empty.
And if I said the guys, the coaches who are most respected for their work with quarterbacks, like if Sean Payton's in the top 5,
yes,
and Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan. I guess if you want to they're young, but if you want to go with like McVay and Mike McDaniel, but you're not getting far down the list before you get to Sean freaking Payton. And he said, this guy ain't it.
And again, it is situation, and it is just like for older quarterbacks and rookies. You need to be in the right place at the right time. And obviously, wrong coach, wrong place, wrong time. Just didn't work. Fail fast, get out of it. But if he was great, and if he was upper half, I don't care how bad you didn't like him, you wouldn't be paying $39.85 total to go away.
No. Please leave. Please beat it. Yeah, if you think that there's an up arrow next to Russ's name, I don't know what to tell you. A change of scenery is going to they tried that.
Well, I don't think an up arrow isn't what anybody's chasing with Russell. But if I can just stay even with as good a year as you've had in the last 4, that's upper half.
2 years ago, he was a disaster, dude. He was dreadful.
I say 4 years ago, there was still meat on the bone. There was still a team that was willing to pay him a bunch of money to go do it because the film justified it. And I'm going to admit that, yeah, it's not over for Russell. It was a bad place to be. But to expect anything more than just be what you were, your best self of what you were, and to expect any improvement is crazy. There's not. You've reached the mountaintop and you're on the other side. You just hope for equal play. Just be what you were 4 years ago, and we will all be happy.
Well, he's also 35 years old. Most quarterbacks aren't as good at 35 as they were at 31.
All of that. So it's a tough situation to be in. I'm not writing him off. He's not the worst possible solution, but there's a lot of other issues out there that have kept him from being a Denver Bronco.
And outside of George Pickens, it's a fairly bare cupboard as far as weapons out there in Pittsburgh too. So,
and he's an easy target.
He's
an easy guy to make fun of.
Yeah, well,
let's ride, baby.
Let's ride. Broncos country. Let's ride.
Have your people call my people, and we'll practice.
Steelers country. Let's weld.
You think he lives in Pittsburgh?
No. He probably lives in some township.
No, he doesn't. I'm he's probably leasing a mansion.
Yeah.
Leasing something, but he ain't living there.
Yeah, his wife ain't living there. No way. No. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong.
Nah, yeah.
But I don't see it coming, baby. And if did the guy win a Super Bowl? Yes. But Nick Foles won a Super Bowl.
Well, I'm saying
guess
all
what?
this.
Nick Foles ain't in the league.
Well, I'm not a fan of Nick Foles. I'm coming to you as what was and still moderately a fan of Russell's.
Yeah.
The things that he does when he's winning are the things that I appreciate the most in quarterbacks.
But if you don't think that Russell Wilson has seen better days, I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, maybe he's got something in the tank, and if he does, we'll see it. I do think he's got a higher floor than Justin Fields. I don't think he's going to be a complete and utter disaster, but I don't think that he's the kind of guy who can like lead you to some kind of a playoff run or something. I think those days are gone, and that's all right. Russell Wilson had a hell of a career already. Good for him.
You don't have to make a play. Just don't make a mistake. You don't have to be the playmaker you were in Seattle. That's not expected, and you can't do it. So don't try to be. Just don't make the mistakes.
Yeah.
That'll keep you on the field.
And generally, Russ used to have like a big fumbling problem, but I mean, even at least last year, he wasn't terrible turning the ball over. Again, you feel safe with Russ. It's just like, what's safe going to get you?
I get the sense that over the long haul, Mike Tomlin and Russell Wilson will not part as friends. I'm going to tell you that this, no matter how it ends, it ain't going to end good.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's going to end with a benching. It's going to end with Russell talking to the press outside the locker room. It's going to end with something like that because Tomlin ain't going to put up with it. Not like first-year head coach that he dealt with in Denver. Not like the friendly dude in Carroll. You say some of the stuff that Russell has said in the past, and Tomlin gets wind of it. He ain't going to put up with it.
Yeah. I think eventually we'll look at this Steelers Russell Wilson marriage as a failure.
Yeah.
But you're right though. Whoever said that all these guys do is talk and give bad takes, like it is our job to talk and give opinions. Now, whether you agree with them or not, that's what the show is about. Like we don't expect you to agree with everything, but that is kind of the job, is for us to talk and give our opinions. But my opinion is that Russ is washed.
I think he's got a little bit more in the tank, but don't expect greatness.
Yeah. So Steelers haven't had a losing record since Mike Tomlin's been there. Does that streak continue this year? Will the Steelers win 9 games?
I'd bet the 9. I think they got 9 games in them.
I don't, especially when I read off that.
I mean, if they're going to have to be that. If they win 6 of that first 8, they're in pretty good shape. I think they're going to get 9, but they're going to have to start hot.
Half of their schedule is insane. Mm-hmm. So, and I do think, at least on paper, I think they're the weakest team in that division.
Yeah, but that's a tough division
for sure. Yeah. For sure. But when you're the 4th best team in a division, I don't care how good it is. That's rough sledding. And part of it, and that's the other. Who do you trust more, Russ or Deshaun Watson?
Well,
because they're both guys that were really, really good at one point and haven't been really, really good since. Like,
Deshaun's a little younger, but Russell's
a lot younger.
But I respect the savvy that Russell has offered. But yeah, no, I'd take Deshaun.
I think I would
too. All things being equal and paycheck not being part of it.
Yeah. Although, I mean, Russ got a pretty hefty paycheck too.
Yeah, not like that Deshaun one, man. That's an albatross.
Well, the Browns have to pay it. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Like you said, the fact that they basically said, hey, we're going to pay for this guy. You take him. That to me tells me all I need to know about Russell Wilson.
What is wrong with him?
All right. I know I said I was going to get to the Jerry sound. We'll do that next. And I don't want to shortchange Jerry. I want to give him his proper time, appropriate amount of time, because we got a lot of sound from him. We'll hear from him about Dalvin Cook. We'll hear from him about Dakota Prescott.
It is the absolute.
I know.
Glory hole.
It is the absolute glory hole. But we'll talk about all that and more coming up. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we're back out on the road. 4-9 Cigars in Stone Oak, and boy, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. Couple of days away from the UTSA season opener. UTSA Athletic Director Lisa Campos will join us at 4:30.
We'll talk some Texans football as well with the General, John McClain, coming up at 5:15.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, Uline,
They know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. And look at you, hands perfectly placed on the wheel. Not like the driver to the right of you who's really going after that drum solo. Save with DriveWise and the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. I think everyone knows that driving while using a cell phone, texting, posting videos is dangerous. Study after study shows that use of a cell phone like worse than driving under the influence. Yet, many people insist on using their cell phones while driving. I've had many cases where my client was injured by one of these people because they chose to use their cell phone. Who are these people? You and I have both seen them, probably today. Men, women, old, young, minivan drivers, truck drivers, 18-wheeler drivers. I know this. The same person that chooses to use their cell phone while driving is the same person who will lie about it later just to avoid taking responsibility. If you choose to use a cell phone while driving and hurt someone, you'd better hope they don't call me. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, call me. Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
How about them Cowboys? Jim Beam bringing fans together across Cowboys country. We rise as one in Texas in handed down silver and blue jerseys. We come together for America's team every time they take the field. So let's share a round of Jim Beam highballs on game day in Cowboys country. 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2024 James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to billshappen.com, and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
More updates from the Dalvin Cook reel that got posted to San Antonio Sports Star's Instagram yesterday. T-Town Baby 813 says, clown saying washed from a person who can't keep his weight under control. You not a GM. Control your house. Control you house. Why you house?
The last thing was go Cowboys.
My weight's fine. Like 225. That's healthy for a 44-year-old. I'm 6'3". I'm respectable shape. Not the best, but it's not round. Jerk.
You're going a little lady tennis player on this. You know this, right?
You should find a new hobby because your takes are trash.
It's not his hobby.
It's not
this is
a
his
hobby.
job.
I actually get paid for this, which is wild. It's okay. I'm gonna be okay. I'm hurt, especially with the dig about my weight, but I'm gonna power through.
Okay.
I'm just gonna control my house.
You're not a GM.
I'm not a GM. You're right. You're right. What do I know? What's Jared know? Jared knows all about Dalvin Cook. Name a GM who could do better than Jerry.
He's the best
Name
effer
one.
I know.
Name one.
He's the best effing GM I know.
Damn right. And he said, you know what? We're going to add Dalvin Cook. He runs fast. He runs hard. I like his style.
Dalvin is someone that we all have an appreciation for his career, and he gives us a chance to get in here and learn the system. He's initially on the practice squad, gives us a chance to get in here and learn the system. We had hoped that as time went along in this offseason, that we'd have an opportunity to maybe look at a player like of his stature if the right circumstances came along. They came along. We're appreciative of that. We had to work out for him. He's in good shape. He'll get a lot more work, but he'll learn our system as he goes, and he could easily really help us out this year.
Could have easily really helped out the Jets last year. Could have easily really helped out the Ravens, but they didn't even want him on the field. But hey, again, you said this, and it's true. It's not like this kills them. It's just it doesn't improve them. That's what that's all I was trying to say in that video is it doesn't make it's not like they got worse because they signed Dalvin Cook. Their running back room was the worst in the league yesterday. It's the worst in the league today. It just hasn't changed. So I'm not like saying, oh, they've done some disastrous thing. They're not paying him anything. It's certainly a prove it deal. Anything you get out of him is great. I just don't think it was the kind of move that's going to make them better is all I was trying to get at.
Oh, it's a room that they were fully planning on going into battle with Zeke Elliott, Malik Davis,
Rico Dowdle,
and Royce Freeman. Oh, and by the way, the 5'4" Gadget Juice dude.
Gadget Juice, baby.
So, yeah, Dalvin Cook looks good when he's standing next to those guys.
He is Gadget Juice.
Yeah.
Again, it's Cowboy fan. We spend so much time talking about dudes that ain't even going to see the light of day for weeks. We've talked about Trey Lance incessantly for a month. Yeah. This dude, we ain't going to see him again. We'll see Dalvin on third down in 3 weeks. Well, yeah, he'll play 8 snaps in 3 weeks. And then we'll talk about how much he matters to this offense and how he's arrived fresh-footed with less usage over the last year and a half. This is a dude that showed up 2 weeks before the first game, hadn't practiced with the team in over a year, has been released by the last 2 with no effect. So, yeah, okay. Well, this is going to matter, Cowboy fan. This is going to matter. And Jerry knows it. You can tell by what he's saying. He's like, yeah, I got me another guy.
Well, they asked him about having Zeke and Dalvin.
Oh, yeah.
And how much those two guys, these two experienced guys, are going to improve the backfield.
We're in a great position to have flexibility here. Got Malik Davis back on the practice squad. We now have Dalvin on the practice squad. We're all excited about what Zeke can do for us. We needed to have improvement, especially in that red zone. We needed to have improvement getting in that end zone with that running game, and this all bolsters that up. I'm really pleased with where we are right now at running back.
I mean, it's a sign of confidence. If I think Jerry has the worst running back room in the NFL and he's very happy with where he is and he's the best GM in the whole freaking world, then maybe I'm just wrong and my takes are trash. That now that I hear it that way, it is a good possibility.
What would be right? 1,000 yards? I mean, what exactly are we looking for from success for combined in this running back? A total of 1,500 rushing yards from everybody? Is that success?
If they get 1,500 rushing yards from guys that are currently under contract with the Cowboys, that would be success. I just can't. I don't know that that's going to happen.
No, it's not. So if that's what you're predicating, Jerry already told you when he has zero expectation. Red zone effectiveness.
Yeah,
which means 4th and 2, do I feel like we got a guy that might be able to punch it through? I hope. And keep in mind, Malik Davis is still a Cowboy because nobody else wanted him.
No, 31 teams said,
you can have him back.
Okay.
And nobody else wanted Dalvin either. I heard maybe the Colts were offering, an extra lunch ticket to get him, but I mean,
you'll get 2 lunches a day.
We'll give you an extra sandwich on Tuesdays after film.
Unlimited bananas on game day.
So,
bananas and orange slices. We've got them. You wouldn't believe the amount of fruit that we have at halftime. You can have as much as you want.
And anytime you've got a room by committee, that just tells you ain't got one that's good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, that does in every instance. I'm always glad to be on a committee. But if there was a president that could just get it done, there would be no committee.
All right. Now what's the real questions we want to get to with Jerry?
Dak.
It's Dak. That's what we want to know about.
That hasn't changed. So we're continuing to, first of all of us focus on what's coming up here in the next 10 days, 2 weeks, opening game. And that takes priority over anything. Lamb wasn't here. Dak is here. So we have really no more to do in those significant things that we talk about every time we meet to have this season on go by opening day. So it'll remain like it's been.
So after all those words that are just strung together haphazardly, I said absolutely nothing.
Now, this is a good question, I think. How much of a risk is it to play this out with Dak into free agency?
No risk.
None?
If that's your plan.
Yeah.
And that's his plan.
Well, here's what he had to say.
I don't have any comment there. I have, from the time
Meanwhile, he's about to talk for a minute.
Buying the Cowboys, I frankly have never really dwelled on and assessing the risk of what we do around here to be involved in the NFL, to be involved in football. It'd be madness to say, well, that's risky. So I've been feeling extreme risk since the day I walked through the doors here. And so everything you do, almost, there's risk involved. That's the nature of the game. Sometimes it's worked out really well. Sometimes taking those risks will bite you. I don't believe the man upstairs gives anybody a plus or minus on when they're taking risk of how he's going to cut the cards. But I've had good luck taking risks. I've had drawn back a nub a few times. So, again, I don't want to even talk about any of the decisions we make on personnel as assessing risk. It's all risky.
Oh, it's risky. You know how much money Jerry is going to make just from the TV deals that the rest of he will make this year $400 million just from TV.
Yeah.
This is a risky time in Jerry's life.
Very risky. They asked him about the possibility, because he needs some of that money covered. They asked him about the private equity, if there was any interest from the Cowboys in jumping in on that. What's your guess on his answer?
Yeah, I mean, somebody give me some more money for a little slice of this pie. I'm all for it there, Bob.
Now, do I want to get in bed with the Saudis? I don't know. I got to figure it out.
I just don't I'm not trying to be evasive in any way, but yes, the correct statement is I'm not looking to do it. And I don't want to foreclose anything as far as the future is concerned, but we have not been in that kind of mind thought.
Do you know why?
Jerry likes owning. He likes being he likes not having anybody to answer to.
Do you know why suddenly the NFL, the last of the professional franchises in the United States to acquiesce to the collective, what are we calling it?
Private equity.
The private equity firm. Do you know why that's suddenly a thing that they allowed this?
I don't.
Because franchises now are so freaking expensive, one man can't buy them. All those guys have already bought teams.
Yeah.
There's nobody left out there because they have valued their franchises to the point where now for us to have any possibility of selling, which you always have to have that ability to sell or you're not liquid. We have to open our doors to private equity firms. And not only did they open the door, they said that these private equity firms can own slices of 8 different franchises?
Yeah. That's kind of weird.
I'd rather be one of those dudes than an owner.
Oh, for sure. Well, yeah. I mean, listen, if you've got the kind of money you can buy into 8 different franchises, yeah, I wouldn't mind being one of those guys.
It's a risky time that you can suddenly go, you know what I can do tomorrow and have the absolute same control and make basically the same amount of money is sell 10% of my franchise for $1 billion. I can just go get $1 billion tomorrow. It's a risky time for Jerry right now.
Risky time. They asked him, what more do you need to see from Dak in order to sign him to a contract? This should be fun.
Well, you could easily say, if you hadn't seen it by now, you haven't seen it.
Uh-oh.
And so I'm such a fan of Dak's and appreciate all of the great things that we all know that he's there. And I appreciate his work ethic probably more than anything out here. And I can't tell you how proud I am that we've got him this year to start this campaign. So needing to see, I just gave an explanation of where when you look at a situation, you've also got to weigh, okay, what are the consequences of the other side of the coin? And so Dak's situation right now, for me, from my mirror, has more to do with our situation than it does with the merits of Dak Prescott being quarterback.
That's
of the
what it
Dallas
is.
Cowboys.
It's can we take enough? Can we come up with enough coin? It's a risky time.
It's not you, it's me. And he spoke out of both sides of his mouth, because didn't he just say that I've made a lot of risky decisions in my life? Every time I look in the mirror, risk. He has told that first sentence, this is it. He ain't gonna pay that.
I don't think
he's just not gonna. And it is me, because I'm not gonna pay you. And what would I like to see from Dak? To lower his request. I'm not going to pay him $65 million a year. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it now. I'm not going to do it in December. I'm not going to do it in February. I'm going to let somebody else do it. I will happily pay him X, whatever that offer is. It's on the table, and it ain't what Dak wants, and Dak has no desire to sign it either. And we keep leaning on Jerry like right now is his fault. No, it's not his fault now. It's his fault we're here.
Yeah.
It's his fault that we got to this point, because he could have solved this problem last year and the year before that. He could have signed Dak to a deal that included a franchise or a trade tag, that now he made the mistake that Dak has every bit of leverage here. Jerry has no hand in this, and he can say it's not you, it's me. No, it's you. It's Dak saying, I'm not going to pay for 1 penny less than X because you got us here. That's all on Dak. I'm not mad at Jerry now. I'm mad at Jerry for getting us here.
Yeah.
But right now, this is not Jerry's fault.
All right. When we come back, one more clip I want to play from Jerry, and it doesn't have anything to do with the team. It's about sports betting and how he thinks, how close he thinks we are to having legalized sports betting in Texas. We'll hear that next, and we'll talk about the Bengals situation, because it's starting now that CD's done. People are starting to really look at this Cincinnati situation and go, "Ooh, this might get ugly." It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We are almost to the last of the 4 major grilling holidays. It is Thursday before the biggest closeout grilling holiday of the season. Are you prepared, my grilling friends? Because you're going to spend some time over a hot barbecue or a slow smoking pit over the next several days. You better have the best meat to go in those things. That's why I'm talking about Tri-County Meat Market, my go-to meat market now for the last 5 years. If you haven't been to Tri-County, you have not seen the best selection of prime or better cuts anywhere in San Antonio. You have not seen the giant tomahawk steaks. You have not seen porterhouses that you got to back a pickup up to put into the back. You haven't seen the selection of rubs and charcoals and pellets like Tri-County has. They say it, I believe it, a great meal starts with great meat over at Tri-County Meat Market. So they got the great meat, and they also have the specials to go along with it. And you know, for a weekend that we're coming, you've got everything you need for the specials. And then there's the regulars, like the 5 for $25. 5 items in a bag, $25. I promise you, there's 2 meals in that bag if you do it every week. You're taking advantage of the best deal in San Antonio. They got 2 locations waiting on you today. Over on Huebner, out on Ralph Fair, easy to get to. The specials are stacked deep and ready to be sold cheap. Go get some good meat, put it on the grill, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
94.1. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chung Plus, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Make sure you select Twin Peaks for your fantasy football draft party. Stay cool under pressure with 29-degree draft beers, bites for the whole team, plus a $50 bonus card for the commish and an additional $5 bonus card for every drafter. Visit TwinPeaksRestaurant.com for more info.
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great-tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. I'm one of 5 million active members. I play every day because you know why? It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports because I get to use my knowledge and apply it to win some serious money. And as a player, they invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if your pick don't hit. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Pick with just as simple 4 correct picks. It is that easy to play. You can have fun. It's simple. It's a great playing experience, and you can use your knowledge. How well is Tyreek Hill going to do this week? How is Dak Prescott going to play? If you know, you go play. It's Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code Alamo and get $50 instantly when you play. That's code Alamo on Prize Picks. You get $50 instantly when you play just 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Hey, pet parents. With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at Progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Notre Dame Leprechauns, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pregame at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still have this trouble spot on I-10 westbound at Hildebrand. Disabled vehicle. It's off to the shoulder. On Highway 90, eastbound 211 to 410, right now that's about a 15-minute commute. About 25 minutes on 35 southbound Solms Road as you make your way on down to Loop 410. Now, if you see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out. 210-785-2601. Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
All right. We were talking about, you and I were talking about sports betting and how long it's going to be before it's legal here. You seem to think
it will be on the ballot in the next statewide election post our House getting together in the summer of next year.
Okay. And you said the primary reason why they have to get it done, why they're feeling pressure to get it done is...
Well, I think that there's the pressure of providing a service that the rest of the country seems to be very avid in taking advantage of. But
you mean like an energy grid?
Something like that. But Texas is headed toward an education crisis. Teachers are underpaid. The voucher thing was an utter collapse for Governor Abbott. I think that to fix the problem, they need to open a fire hose of money. And that fire hose is gambling and drugs. It is. I mean, the next great, well, I'm trying to find the right word. The money pit, the money stash, the honeypot is gambling and weed.
Now, do you think it's full-blown gambling or...
No, it won't be Vegas. I think that
sports betting.
It'll be, I think what we're going to get is regionalized resorts. We'll probably get 4 of those. And in-house, you'll have sports betting, and it'll be the digital side will be opened up. And
slot machines and stuff.
And also the sports booking digital things, some of the things that we can't do here in Texas will be allowed to.
Yeah.
The digital side, the sports betting is what Jerry's talking about. And as they've opened to private equity, the same fire hose of money that would be used to tax to fund education as Texas is apt to do will go. I mean, that's Jerry. I mean, can you imagine the monies that Jerry will make with a cowboy casino and all the things that go along with what the rest of the country has, at least to all of his competitors. Yeah, it's coming, and everybody with any kind of money is getting in fast to be ready for it.
I'm for getting teachers paid better. They asked Jerry what he thought about sports betting and how long he thinks it's going to take to get going.
The mind frame of the people is what we're talking about here. And I don't want to sound like a politician, but it is the mindset, the mind frame. And it has to get an order of priority, an order of importance for something like this, because it must be voted on by the citizens of the state of Texas. And so you've got to create a level of importance. That level of importance sometimes takes some years to establish, or some other visible, tangible, other states doing it, for some states to make that happen. That's a long-winded way of saying that I think ultimately you'll have sports betting in the state of Texas. Until that time, the state does lose an opportunity for huge amounts of revenue. And I think that properly supervised by the people that play the games and people that have the teams that play the games and the individual athletes, you've got to make sure that the perception is, and the reality is, that there's just no compromising on it all being very competitive and up and up. And I think that takes some time in some places more than it does others.
The biggest contributor to the anti-gambling groups in Texas are those in New Mexico and Oklahoma and Louisiana that have casinos.
Yeah.
So,
as someone who was at the casino in Louisiana last weekend, I'm telling you, there ain't a bunch of Louisiana license plates sitting in those parking lots.
And that is money that is just pouring out of the state of Texas. It's just, we're pouring buckets of cash that should be spent in all the casinos here. And everybody knows it. There's been other issues in the way. Now, as our current leadership has painted themselves in a couple of financial corners, they've got a little bit of money on their side, but they don't want to spend it there. They want to find new money to spend it on education and the like. And they did it the last time they ran into this. The lottery was formed, and they were funding education primarily through that. And I get the sense that more gambling and more sinning will fund more and more education.
Yeah, so
3 years.
You would think that in 3 years it's
We'll have gambling of some. We'll have digital availability in sports books because those will pop up fast.
Yeah.
I would say within months of it passing. Because we're not reinventing the wheel here. There's been legalized sports gambling in a lot of states. They're just going to adopt and kind of conform to the Texas attitudes about gambling, but it won't be hard to implement. We know what to do. It's been done many, many times.
Right. How long before you think do you think it's more or less likely marijuana versus?
Well, the key will be, again, they're going to be separate, but they're kind of this on the same platter. Is ideally gambling gets on the ballot first, and gambling drives votes. Will drive the voters. The marijuana legalization is going to be a little bit more divisive, but the thought process is if you will go to the polls and vote yes for gambling, you're probably more apt to go to the poll and vote yes for legalization in some form or fashion. So the expectation is that I know that the lobbyists and those that are behind that, whether it be for, farming and all the stuff that it applies to in the Texas economy, they'd like to get it on the ballot at the same time. Now, that might not be too easy. We might get gambling first, and then in 2 years, the legalizing will come because it has to happen when our House meets, and our Texas State House only meets every other year. So if it doesn't happen now, we're 2 years away. It's that kind of clock.
Okay. But you think that gambling step
Gambling
one
just seems
weed
imminent.
is step two?
Yeah, well, I think that ideally those that are behind both, and there's going to be factions on both sides of the aisle that are behind both because of the revenue that it'll bring without taxing anybody that we like. It's an easy tax.
You tax the sinners.
And Republicans like to make money, and so do Democrats. Republicans will just soon sell weed to Democrats. I mean, that's just to be real. So I think that ideally they're on the ballots together, though I would not be surprised if it's take a little bit of medicine first. Let's get a taste of the money, and then we'll implement the marijuana legalization next, because those are the two next great honey holes for the state of Texas to go make some money as far as taxes.
B. Hannon says, we've got slot machines here in Houston. Go to any gas station in the
Those
hood.
are called 8-liners, and they are highly illegal. So if they are caught, they're gone.
I'm not naming names, but there's a place that I go to regularly here in San Antonio that has one of those.
They're for enjoyment, and they're supposed to be just for like coupons. But if they're running 8-liners, it's not long. That 8-liner will be gone soon enough, and they'll be around the corner.
Yeah, they'll move it somewhere else. All right. The Cincinnati Bengals. This Jamar Chase thing is getting weird. I mean, you said it yourself. Like he's walking around the sidelines wearing shorts and a t-shirt,
just kind of strutting around practice. Weird look.
Does this? I mean, the CD thing, it never got anywhere, but it didn't feel like it was ugly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This feels like it's maybe on the precipice of being ugly.
And you get the sense that it was the hold in is a very ugly thing. It's in your face. The hold in is in your face. I'm here, sign me. I'm not out of sight, out of mind. And then you see Jamar, there was some kind of miscommunication between him and his coach, where he thought he was going to practice and he didn't practice. That's all part of the hold in. When you're there, it is a very much a divisive thing. And I'm seeing agents using that this year far more than I've seen in the past.
Well, the fact that they're walking around and they're there, but they're not there, it's because now they can't really find you.
No, you're there.
But Jamar Chase wants to be paid. I mean, Jamar Chase is trying. This would be like Micah holding out. This is the first chance they've got to pay him. Like, they couldn't pay him before this training camp. They wouldn't have been allowed to pay him before this. Like, he wants to get in as early as possible. Because I think partly because the Bengals, they paid Joe Burrow as early as possible. And Jamar Chase is trying to say, hey, I'm important to this thing too. Get me taken care of. But I don't think the Bengals are going to budge on this, because it's one thing to make an exception for a quarterback, a franchise quarterback. It's another when you start doing it for non-quarterbacks, because if you everyone knows that the NFL is divided into those two factions.
True that.
Quarterbacks are paid and taken care of in one way. Non-quarterbacks are paid and taken care of in a different way. And if you open that box and say, okay, well, we're going to pay you, Jamar Chase. Now, next year, there's a defensive end. The year after that, there's a left tackle. who are all saying, hey, I know we got 2 years left on this original deal, but I'm ready to get paid now. I think that the Bengals are going to try and hold the line. The question is, do you think Jamar Chase is willing to miss football games?
I don't.
I don't think so either.
So I think that's why this was so in your face yesterday. It feels like a last gasp attempt over the next several days to get a deal done that the Bengals are saying, we're not going to talk to you until next year. We're just not going to do it. We got other things to focus on. So he's poking them in the eye. But I can't imagine that you're there strutting around in practice and then you don't show up for the game. That I know it's all business and every player out there knows, go get your money, go get your bag. But don't do this way. Don't do it this way.
This isn't the right way to do it. And, I think this is the other thing to me for Jamar Chase. T. Higgins is playing on a franchise. I think that everybody's fully aware that this is T. Higgins' last year with the team. And the reason why they're letting T. Higgins go is because they know that next year they're going to have to pay Jamar Chase top of market value for wide receiver. And I know the argument is, well, you could always get hurt, but anybody can get hurt playing football. That's obvious. But, dude, just play out this year. Be decently productive. It's almost like Dak. Dak, no matter what Dak does this year, is going to be the highest paid quarterback in the league next year. Jamar Chase, all you got to do is show up 17 times. It doesn't even have to be your best season. You're going to be the highest paid receiver in football.
But my concern here is I don't think we're there yet, but I do think we're getting awfully close to we're not going to pay wide receivers this much money anymore. I think the first kind of whisper about that was when Devontae went to the Raiders and really didn't make any kind of difference at all. You kind of need to have a quarterback. No matter how good your wide receiver is, you kind of need to have a quarterback to get him.
Yeah.
And Devontae didn't, and he didn't make any kind of difference despite the fact of the money he was getting. And I do think that we're not there yet. I still think that I think wide receivers will probably get to around $35 or $40 million before we get the market reset that we got to with the running backs. So I think that Chase has to be very careful here, that we might be reaching the apex of how much we're going to pay wide receivers before owners go find your deal, man. I'm tired of this.
And do you think that's why Chase wants to get it done now while they're throwing this money around?
I absolutely do. I think that it scared agents when they saw, first of all, that quarterbacks' money is not going down. That's a guaranteed escalation.
Yep.
It is prime real estate. Running backs got the market reset. They got a little shake. I think defensive ends a couple years ago got a little bit of a shake after the Von Miller thing that you went, whoa, that's getting a little high. I think Chase sees that and is trying to get the deal. And I think Cincinnati's like, I'll make you a deal, but it's going to be a 6-8 year one. If you want to make a deal now, this is going to be a long ass deal.
And I think that's kind of but again, in the NFL, what's the point? Like what is okay? If Jamar Chase says I'll sign an 8-year deal, but after 5, I'm gonna hold in and walk around on the sidelines and not practice. Like, what's the difference then?
Well, but at that point, then I have a little bit more. I have a little bit more with you because I can let you go for nothing, and it's after 5 years, and I might not want to pay you anymore.
Yeah.
So it does give both sides a little bit of leeway. But I do think that the wide receiver market. I think the Marvin Harrison Jr. next deal, when he gets his in a couple of years, I think he's the next comer. That might be the apex. That might be as high as wide receivers are going to get until we figure out a way to pay quarterbacks separately from the rest of the team.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. is just now getting.
What 3 years is the time? 2 years in on a 5-year deal is the time you start talking about it. I mean,
you're right.
Chase is talking about 3 years in.
I guess you're right. Yeah, I didn't think about it that way, but yeah. So it could be either Harrison or it could be.
You name the next one. The Jets kid could be in there.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a few that are going to escalate it. And I do think we're going to reach a period where, no, we're not going to pay a wide receiver $45 million a year when I'm paying a quarterback now $70 and our salary cap's only gone up 3%. I think that the price adjustment is imminent for wide receivers.
I think you're probably right. And I think that's why maybe Jamar Chase is trying to get this thing done now. But I don't think this is the move. I don't think this is the move. I think you show up, you play, especially because you've got a team that's got a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bengals their ceiling is certainly as high as anybody's. And this is your last year playing with T. Higgins. Once he's gone, it gets a lot harder to get something done Like to me, like you got a lot more double coverage coming your way. And
all of that.
I don't know. I'm a believer in if you got 1 year left. Okay, I get it. I really like what CeeDee Lamb did. I get it. I want to get this thing done. I've proved it over these these 4 years. I'm ready to get mine. I guess with it just when it's only been 3, it feels like play out your rookie deal.
It's funny how most of the time we do fall on the player's side. Most fans
I generally do too,
fall on
man.
the player's
I really
side
do.
until you start to cut in line.
Yeah.
When still you start going, dude, 2 years? I mean, I get it. You've outplayed your contract. I get it. But 2 years early? I mean, think of the benefit to the team. Think about your team first. And I think at this point, when you see Chase walk kind of strutting around the sidelines, and we thought he was going to practice, he's not going to practice. We got a game in 10 days.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine him missing a game check. So let's just put it to bed, and we'll talk about it later. Let's play some football. And you got to walk a very fine line, or you start getting your fans of that want you to be successful to start to root against you. And you don't want that, especially at Cincinnati, when you're walking a fine line anyway with your fandom, because you don't have that many.
And probably part of it is, because Justin Jefferson, he outplayed his contract a year ago. Sure.
Yeah.
Had CeeDee Lamb? Yes. I think another part of it that we're not really factoring in is Jamar Chase. He's seen guys from his draft class get paid already.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Waddle getting paid really kind of threw a wrench into that, because Jalen Waddle wasn't due. The Dolphins had no reason why they needed to pay Jalen Waddle. They just did.
And that's why I don't blame him for doing what he's doing. But at some point, put it to bed. You're going to get paid. And the longer you wait, the more you're going to get.
That's the way I'm looking at it. Unless, like you said, the bottom falls out of the market, which is always possible. Josh Jacobs wishes he would have got paid a year earlier. All right. Last hour of the huddle coming up right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio Sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Somalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. SportsStar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Do not touch a black woman's hair.
Don't touch a black woman's hair.
She's serious. That's right. Don't touch it.
Why?
You can compliment it. Don't pull it.
So what if you're fooling around with somebody?
I will never tell you to pull my hair. It's subject to come off if you do that.
That would be the end of the moment, wouldn't it?
That would be wonderful.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Every Saturday morning. Check out the YouTube channel, complete with live video stream at jcwshow.com.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch, so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for
Taco Pizza!
Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
After a total renovation of their greens, Olympia Hills invites you to their grand relaunch event the weekend of September 13th. Olympia Hills has renovated all 18 greens to enhance your golfing experience. Come and enjoy the dramatic elevation changes and a layout that's been strategically designed for your enjoyment. Follow on social media for updates and witness the transformation of your favorite course. Discover premier golfing in Bexar County with the grand relaunch the weekend of September 13th. Book your tee time now at OlympiaHillsGolf.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Join the Blitz live today from the Best Cigar Lounge in San Antonio. 4-9 Cigars at the Village of Stone Oak, Suite 101.
Come and join the 4-9 Cigar family with a premium cigar in hand. And you can bring your own cold ones too. See you there.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of 98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 in Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
As fall approaches, you have a lot to prepare for. Back to school, sporting events, family gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve. So this fall, no matter what you're prepping for, you can prioritize your family's health and make a game plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor or pharmacist to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Still have this trouble spot on I-10 westbound at Hildebrand. Disabled vehicle. It's off to the shoulder. On Highway 90 eastbound 211 to 410 right now, that's about a 15-minute commute. About 25 minutes on 35 southbound Solms Road as you make your way on down to Loop 410. Now, if you see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line so we can check it out. 210-785-2601. Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
94.1 FM. San Antonio Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys added to the running back room, signing 4-time Pro Bowler Dalvin Cook. He will ramp up initially on the practice squad. Cowboys also brought back linebacker Darius Harris, tackle Josh Ball, defensive end Carl Lawson, and wide receiver Jalen Cropper to add to the Jalen list, all on the practice squad. The Houston Astros avoided getting swept, beating Philly 10-0. Jordan Alvarez hit 3 homers. I'm Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Notre Dame Leprechauns, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pregame at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, we got to give away some Bush tickets. Head for the mountains of Bush. Bush. Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains fame. Candlebox and Bones are going to be at the Freeman Coliseum on Wednesday. Next Wednesday, right?
Under a week.
And I get it's a Brigade Bar day.
Oh, good.
On the way to the phone yesterday, so
even though the Brigade Bar has been less than kind to us today.
I know all the bad things they said about me, but you know what? I love them anyway. Let's go with I guess I could do some Candlebox poetry. I haven't done any of that yet. All right. Candlebox. I don't know their lead singer's name, actually. That's the guy that Jason's friends with, though. I know he was telling you that yesterday, right? But I do know some of their poems. What's his name? Kevin Martin.
Yeah.
Former Sacramento King, Kevin Martin.
Weird jump shot.
And Spur.
And Spur?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Always good, never great.
Yeah.
Kevin Martin. Now, maybe I didn't mean to treat you bad, but I did it anyway. And then maybe some would say your life was sad, but you lived it anyway. And so maybe your friends, they stand around, they watch you crumble as you falter to the ground. And then someday your friends, they stand beside as you were flying oh so high. But then someday people look at you for what you can finish it.
I was kind of eager to hear the end.
No. Actually, you know what? We'll go a little bit further. For what they call their own, they watch you suffer. Give me the next line. The next line of that poem. That's who gets the brigade bar. On the brigade bar, you get the tickets. Well, that was a lot of poem I knew from that one. I thought I was losing myself in the poem when I read it like that instead of singing it, but I think I got it.
Did the brigade bar? Oh, we're popping through.
We got one. We got one. I see it already.
Some of them have better answers than others.
Gilberto Padilla.
Hey, we need to call you, Gilberto. Be by your phone, baby. We got to talk to you to make sure we get everything taken care of.
Well, he's got to call us.
Yeah, well, call us. 656-3776.
There you go. Gilberto's going to see Candlebox with Bush and Jerry Cantrell and Bones, who I'm not familiar with Bones. I don't know any of their poems, but maybe I'll learn some.
And the tickets are getting skinny, so you better call.
That's true. Yeah, we're running out of these bad boys. I was going to go. I thought hard about going to that show. I'd like to see Bush. I've never seen him. I'd like to hear Jerry Cantrell play solo stuff. That seems fun.
Well, there's still time.
My problem is, Rob, you know this about me. I am a creature of habit, and I like to do not a whole lot once I'm done with work. I like to just...
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. But this is worthy. If you know it's coming, if you know it's going to be an event, you plan accordingly.
But it's also on a Wednesday night.
There's that. You can push through.
I could. But
I work with glycerine ringing in your ears.
Glycerine. That's right. I might come home with a Machine Head.
And you might be a huge Bones fan.
I might get some Machine Head. You never know.
You'd have to go to like Japan, I think.
Oh,
they're further ahead in that kind of technology.
Oh,
from what I've been told.
My. Yeah, I don't know where they're at technologically, but I figure you could probably get it. If you could get it anywhere, it'd be at the Bush show. I could at least get some Bush. Tom Brady, as you know, is going to be a Fox analyst.
He's an owner. He is an owner of the Raiders, and I have a problem with an owner.
There's some push and pull
coming
here.
and talking to my guys about my team.
Is that tampering? I don't know.
This is such a false problem.
Yeah, Tom Brady is not being allowed the same kind of access that a normal sideline, like that Troy Aikman would get or that Tony Romo would get, because he is in the process of becoming a part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. That means he can't go to other teams' facilities, can't go to other teams' practices, can't go to production meetings, which include the coaches and the players.
See, this is stupid. First of all, why is Fox putting up with this? And secondly, why is the NFL enforcing this?
Now, the league has come to the NFL. They're at the NFL meetings, and they presented this to the owners and basically said, hey, how do we want to handle this? Because Tom Brady being on TV is good for our league.
Yes. haven't noticed, he's kind of a goat.
But what's the what are we going to do here? And Fox Sports says they've got no concerns about limitations. A network source did.
Well, no, they have no concerns that he's got limitations.
Yeah, or they're not worried about it.
They're not worried that Tom can't go talk with the coaches or anything like that. Well, they better be. What made Tony Romo so spectacular out of the gate is the reason that Tom Brady was hired, because he was telling us what was going to happen before it happened. It was awesome. And we got a peek into what a quarterback thinks and sees when he's on the field. As close as we have ever been, we got what a quarterback is thinking in game. And the expectation is Fox got another guy to do that for us. Let us know what's going on in the game. What do you think is going to happen? Why are these going to happen? And he misses out on that when he doesn't meet with the coaches, when he doesn't get to go do all that. How much do you think Tom Brady will have to do with the Las Vegas Raiders day to day?
None.
Nil. Nada.
No. But I think the reason why NFL owners may push back on it is if you remember when he was trying to buy into the Raiders, Mark Davis sold him his percentage at like a below market rate.
Oh, well.
And that pissed everybody off. I think now's their time to say, oh, yeah?
Well, I think a lot of it is Brady, the goatness, the New England stuff, and now this, which I didn't realize. Now you're reaching into my pocket if you're lessening the value of your franchise, because the value of your franchise affects the value of my franchise in the grandest scheme. So you don't do that.
Right.
But I think this is more about, oh, here comes Tom Brady. We're going to finally get him. We're going to finally get him into New England. I couldn't beat him on the field. I hated Belichick. Kraft is a jerk. Never treated me with any respect. No, I'm not letting Brady in the building. Got to get past this.
I also wonder, there may be teams who are frustrated with the Raiders in general who have gone from being like the lowest valued NFL team to, I don't know. I bet within the next 5 years, the Raiders are worth more than any NFL franchise not named the Cowboys.
There's no reason why it shouldn't. And it's all about locale. He's in the right neighborhood,
and in a market that's exploding.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders going from I think there are owners who are looking at this and going, how the hell did Mark Davis, and the owners don't particularly love Mark Davis. Like there is a weird, and I say weird, Mark Davis is a very weird dude. Al Davis was a very weird dude. But there's always been he's been looked at as kind of an outsider, not a guy that everybody wanted to play ball with. Maybe we see more of that here.
Well, I think we go back to if the Raiders, which are a legacy franchise, but there might be one of the worst, if not the worst run franchise out there for the last 20 years. Just think of the different problems that the Raiders have had off the field. If they are suddenly going to be, if not the most valuable, in the top three, along with the Rams in LA, maybe in New England,
the Giants,
Giants. That's why this private equity buy-in is so important, because it increased the value of every franchise by about 10%, because now I can go sell that. The money is part of this, but I think it's more about, I'm just not going to give Tom Brady anything else. He's
had enough.
Well, the owners are like, you know what? Even though it's better for him, I can't imagine why this is a thing. That literally you think that Tom Brady, although he did learn from the best as far as cheating. He was at the knee of the finest professional cheater that we know of. That you think he's really going to play a role in improving the stock of the Raiders because he got to talk to your quarterback on Saturday before a game? Really?
Well, Brady's also a part owner of the Las Vegas Aces.
Well, actually, he can't talk to any NBA teams either then. He can't talk to any professional sports franchise with a ball that has air in it.
Yeah.
He can talk to baseball guys all day, but if that ball has air in it, you'll affect the franchise, man. You can't do it.
Yeah. So pro volleyball, can he get in?
No, you don't want him next to a bunch of volleyball players. All kinds of crazy stuff gets weird.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know how this would work. I don't remember when the Magic Johnson was going to be an NBA owner, and or an NFL owner. I mean, I don't remember how it ended up falling through, but I don't. It wasn't because of NBA interest, was it?
He just got outbid.
Okay. Which, I mean, listen, you can own in different sports.
Does he have part of the Commanders?
I don't think he does. I think he was trying to get it. Yeah, but that's the team it was. I couldn't remember who it was. It was the Commanders. And that was in I think like a year ago.
Yeah, what's his name? The .com dude, Josh, whatever.
Or 2 years ago.
Yeah. He was in on that ownership group that also Byron Allen, the weatherman, that former that had made all this money, that bought he was in on it. A couple of minority owned or led ownership factions chased it, but they didn't get it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's just, and then it's just like A-Rod. When A-Rod tried to sometimes you just get outbid.
Again, I think this is also going to help guys like Magic, guys like LeBron. Well, not LeBron, unless LeBron wants to buy into a football team. But if you want to buy into the NFL, now you have a little bit of help of private equity money.
Yeah.
You can come in with a little bit more money that you couldn't have come up with. And that's what, 10% of the total buy?
Yep.
It allowed single owners, especially those of minority that might not be able to tool together all this cash, a way to just go to the bank and find 8 dudes that'll count as one, or however how many investors the equity fund has. It allows them a little bit more money to buy in, but it also raised the value of every franchise at the same time.
Well, we'll see how this shakes out. Obviously, they're, like I said, they're doing these meetings. If I'm an NFL team, I don't care. I don't think Tom Brady's there trying to steal secrets to make the Raiders. And listen, if you're worried the Raiders are going to get some sort of secret info that helps them win the Super Bowl, you got way bigger problems than who's covering your games.
I wonder how
bigger problems.
I wonder how much work Brady has been doing getting ready for this. Because I do remember when Romo was getting started, we got some pictures and some video of them playing.
Yeah.
Playing.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how much Brady is doing, because I know he's the kind of guy that is ultimately prepared.
He is always prepared. I'm looking forward to hearing him. All right. We've been talking so much sports today, Rob. There's a lot going on in the world of not sports. We'll talk about that next. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
My good friends over at Rosti, all around San Antonio, have a job in mind, and that's to get you out of pain. You know, so many of us live our lives, and we can kind of get used to things hurting us. And the older you get, the more the expectation is, well, this is just going to hurt forever, and I'm just not going to do something or do everything I can to avoid doing whatever it is that makes this thing hurt. Don't live like that. I was like that. I met Dr. Jason Garrett over at Rosti after I had become an Rosti patient. I was directed by my good friend Jason Minix. Go over to Rosti. I'd hurt my back. Went over not expecting anything. And then when they told me, no, we're not going to give you any muscle relaxers, we're just going to work it out. And I thought, what have I gotten myself into? I wasn't fixed that day, but I can tell you I limped in and I walked out. In 2 weeks, I was back doing what I was doing prior, and that was half of what it had ever been previously. And that's my lower back issues. Your results are going to be different, but I can tell you better than anything I have ever done. And I've been through painful instances throughout my adult life. So if you're living with something, things you need to know. Rosti will get you fixed. You don't need a referral, and they accept most insurances. So I'm asking you, what are you waiting on? Well, you might need the number. 1-800-404-6050. Their website is Rosti.com. There, they have a map of all their local providers. I say it every time. I bet there's one less than 10 minutes from where you are now. Listen to me close. Life is too short. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call a Rosti today. They're going to get you fixed. And when they do, come on by and you can thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we're back out on the road. 4-9 Cigars in Stone Oak, and boy, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. Couple of days away from the UTSA season opener. UTSA Athletic Director Lisa Campos will join us at 4:30.
We'll talk some Texans football as well with the General, John McClain, coming up at 5:15.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Head to Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, the Labor Day sale. This week only, get a queen mattress for just $89.99. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Offer available in-store for pickup only. See store for details.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence dyne test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Keebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. You're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it. And if they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
Paramount Plus is once again your home to stream the NFL on CBS. Follow all the action and stream your live local NFL on CBS game every Sunday, all the way through the AFC Championship. Sign up, sign in, and start streaming Paramount Plus today.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
All right. We have talked so much sports today. I'm all sportsed out. Although we will go through the daily lines coming up next. That's what we do. There was something that happened, and I want to relate it to you and see what you would a settlement's been made, Rob.
Okay.
If I were to tell you you were going to go to a doctor, and when you left the doctor, you would have 33% less penis.
Well, for some of us. Anyway.
What would be an appropriate amount of reparations?
Well, how much was I starting with? I don't think there is. If I left the doctor's office minus anything that I didn't expect to be minus, it would be to the legal limits of the law.
Well, a Berto Lopez, who's a doctor in Florida, performed a circumcision. He did this 10 days after the Florida Board of Medicine voted to revoke his medical license. But he did it anyway. He botched the surgery, severing the child's penis, and adding another name to a long list of patients whose bad procedures caused the board to get rid of his license in the first place. They left the infant's penis a, quote, bleeding, scabby mess, and it cost him 33% of his future earnings. At least that was that kid's future earnings is what I mean. His future penis. A third of it is gone.
We got a good 12 inches here that we can play with.
The parents had the parents of the child had asked for $50 million. Does that seem like a reasonable amount?
Yeah.
Well, the jury, after deliberating for 30 minutes, said it's not a reasonable amount.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to give you $100 million.
There you go.
$100 million. And by the way, the lawyer represented the family for free.
Yeah.
Lopez didn't attend the trial or hire an attorney to represent him. He offered no defense, and I don't know where he's going to come up with $100 million from. Well, does your insurance work when?
Well, there depends on what the limits of the state will allow, and you might. Punitive is different. I don't know what they got him, but $100 million. Sure, man. Good luck.
Lopez, he says he has no money to give.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Blood from a turnip.
He's yet to pay the settlement amount he owes the husband of another patient, 40-year-old Oniste Castillo. The doctor delivered Castillo's second child in 2017 and then left the hospital to change his bloodstained scrubs, returning in time to watch the patient die. The Palm Beach Post traced the deaths of 6 patients to botched procedures throughout Lopez's 33-year career. Yeah, I'm with the board here. They should not give him a license.
We got a criminal issue as well.
The Lopez said he didn't tell them about the doctor didn't tell him about the restriction, and instead they agreed to his request for a $250 cash payment. Met at his office in West Palm Beach. The mother waited outside while the doctor cut off a third of the baby's penis, severing his urethra. And then he told the dad the bleeding is normal. He sutured the wound and tried to stop the bleeding using wooden sticks tipped with silver nitrate, a caustic material. After 45 minutes, he sent the family home with gauze and told them the bleeding would eventually stop. And he said, you should give the kid some Tylenol for pain.
$100 million.
$100 million seems about
in 30 minutes. How many zeros after the one? All right, that's enough. Do we have 10? We do 10 zeros after the one?
Yeah.
Before the death? Yeah.
They went to an emergency room and they got sent to a pediatric urologist. Says the doctor went into the office, complications that sometimes happen during circumcisions. Then he removed the child's diaper. This doctor was visibly shocked. He had never seen anything like this in his career. So, yeah, $100 million feels about right. A man fell asleep in a Tesla. This man doesn't look unlike James Pledger. I'm not going to lie.
He could be a Pledger relative. Yes.
Okay. Doesn't look unlike James Pledger. Fell asleep in his Tesla while driving on the highway. Got pulled over for that. That's a risky move. I mean, you can do. We know your car can drive itself. That's cool, but you don't want to lay your seat all the way back and fall asleep while it drives you somewhere. Officers tried to stop the car. It continued driving for about a mile with the driver still asleep. They finally engaged or positioned their police cars in front of the Tesla to engage its sensors and got it to stop.
Mm-hmm.
After stopping the car, they woke up the driver. Officers had the driver do a sobriety test and they searched the car. They found several dozen boxes of vape pens that contained various illegal substances.
Various?
200 grams worth of THC, 400 grams of methamphetamine, and 400 grams of ecstasy.
Seems to me we were better off with Tesla doing the driving.
Well, I think the problem was, had he just, driven the car himself, he wouldn't have gotten pulled over
Or
and
at
then
least
been
looked-
arrested
or at
for
least looked awake.
the felony drug charges. But when you take a nap while you're driving, you're opening yourself up to a search, and that's what it led to. He has been charged with several Class D, H, and I felonies.
This is a Class I.
Yeah,
Where's this?
That's in.
That's a lot of classes of felony.
Yeah, it is. It gets all the way into Class I, and then he had some misdemeanors for not pulling over in time. I don't know where this town is. Oh, it's in North Carolina. North Carolina. And then he had a misdemeanor for not pulling over when the officer turned his lights on.
This is sweet. You can get out of that one.
The police chief in Albuquerque. This is an interesting theory he's got. He's fighting against the use of body cam footage. And
he doesn't want his cops to have a body cam. Is that what he's saying?
Right.
Okay.
And this is all coming from an incident where the police chief, operated his department-issued truck in an unsafe manner, ran a red light, broadsided a car, severely injured the driver. And there's surveillance footage that shows him crossing a busy 4-lane street against a light, crosses the westbound lane through a gap between two cars. One of the drivers has to brake abruptly before he barrels across the eastbound lanes and rams into the side of a 1966 gold Mustang.
Oh, what a waste.
Driven by a 55-year-old Todd Purchert.
Todd is pissed.
He says that the department, actually, the Fleet Crash Review Board, concluded that the crash was non-preventable.
He ran a red light.
He was on his way to a Saturday press conference with his wife when he took a detour to have a look at a homeless encampment. Said he ran the light to escape an altercation between two homeless men that had escalated into gunfire.
So you went and caused a bum fight, ran a red light, and ran into a collectible Mustang, and it was not preventable?
Now, he's saying that they shouldn't even be able to look at this crash. They shouldn't be able to review it. He says the mandate is not just a matter of state police department policy. You're preventing guys from responding to a call for service or at the initiation of any other law enforcement to investigate.
If you're going to make sure I'm doing everything right, I might not do anything. If you're going to check me when I go to check out a bum fight, and you're going to judge me by how I act, I might not go check out those bum fights.
Now, here were the two reasons why he had his camera off. He cited intermittent conversations with his wife, who was a passenger. He claimed there was a right to privileged communication between spouses, which exempted him from mandatory recording
Watch
requirements.
how I start a bum fight. Watch this, honey.
But the relevant policy does not provide for non-recording based on spousal privilege.
Dude, shut up. And
that's not his worst excuse, though, Rob. This is his worst excuse. He purposefully did not record because he was invoking his Fifth Amendment right not to self-incriminate.
Well, there is that. And he does have that right.
Since he was involved in a traffic collision, he was subject to Fifth Amendment protections.
Mm-hmm.
So he's suggesting that these cameras that are supposed to deter and or document police misconduct. Well,
Might
if I
have
know
documented his police
if
misconduct.
I know there's going to be crime, I'm not going to incriminate myself on camera.
So you're telling me that you don't want you or your officers to wear body cameras because it might catch you doing something wrong?
You only want to wear the body cameras when you're for sure not going to be doing crime.
I agree with you. Former police chief, whoever you are.
A vehicle rolled into a river in Philadelphia. They were parked on Kelly Drive and somehow found themselves in the river at 4:45 a.m. Police say,
oh my goodness.
Police say a man and woman were engaging in sexual activity in the back seat when the woman accidentally disengaged the gear, causing the vehicle to roll into the water.
Oh, this is something going on, baby. I feel I'm getting moved.
They were both able to escape without injury. The incident, so no harm, no foul, but they did have to admit that they were having sex. And I'm guessing at 4:45 in the morning, they weren't having sex with their wives or husbands,
No.
is my guess, in a vehicle. And finally, a Pueblo, Colorado, a couple got something delivered to their door that was a bit disturbing. John Rossiter and his wife are still in disbelief that they got a package. It looked like it was from Amazon. They opened it and reached in and said, "What is this?" Smelled it. It was poop. A box full of poop had been delivered to their house. He had ordered guitar tuners.
So you obviously can't play very well.
It was
from his
not.
neighbors. So at what point did you find out that his poop? I don't think I'd have to reach in.
So here's what happened. Now, he said, let's figure out this tracking issue.
Okay.
He gave the Amazon guy the tracking number. He looked it up and said, yeah, that's the same tracking number as the package that you got the day before, the guitar tuners. And he said, I never got those guitar tuners. So someone porch pirated him, took a dump in the box, and then put the box back on his porch. So he felt like I got the package.
You know, the odds are that this is either his best friend or his worst enemy, because I think this is pretty funny.
He says,
personally,
we haven't had any arguments with anybody or anything, and we see the drivers occasionally and just say thanks. That's about it. I've never had any major issues with the driver, so I don't know where this came from.
I think this is his best friend. I think this is a prank.
I just hope they figure out who it is that did it, and I'd like to know
Can't we
why.
DNA test? Can't we get some DNA from the poop?
Like
a crack.
We'd match it with 23andMe. See
Yeah,
where
some kind of CSI
Where's
crack.
this poop coming from? All I can think about is Billy Madison, where he says, it's poop again. And he says, he called the bleep poop. One of the great lines in cinematic history. He called the bleep poop. All right. When we come back, we'll do the daily lines, which will include football. We've got MREs
We got
here.
Snacks here.
Oh
Look at
my
this.
gosh.
MREs.
I got the cheese tortellini.
I'm holding pizza slice with pepperoni. This is menu number
And a
23.
chicken burrito bowl.
Oh, man, we're going to eat
God.
like grunts today.
It's time to find out how. Oh, beef goulash. The word goulash is
Should-
always a turnoff to me. Where'd these come from? A
So we got a
drop off from a
drop-off?
listener?
MREs.
God bless him. Did he leave a name? No name. Oh, he may have poisoned this.
Beef
No,
patty house. No, these
they
are
seem
hermetically sealed.
If I put my hand in there and there's poop, I'm going to be really pissed off.
Well, can we tell the difference? Will really be the key here.
We'll be right back. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chunk Law, sponsored in part by Jim Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news. I went to billshappen.com, and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working the trouble spot on Highway 90, eastbound General McMullen, west side of town. That stall is taking up a left lane. Some debris in the roadway at 1604 northbound at Ron Road and 1604 on the access road northbound just past Ron Road. Good reports of an accident. I-10 eastbound Deszavala, that's a stall off to the shoulder, and 410 eastbound Honeysuckle north side of town, disabled vehicle right shoulder block. Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, time saver driving.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right. Is your dinner ready?
About to warm up some pepperoni pizza. A little dessert of what do I got here? Apples and pieces.
Someone brought us MREs. I said I wanted to know how it's changed over the years. I don't know if this is going to be warm enough.
Yeah. I don't know how to use this thing.
Oh no, this is what I had in the.
We didn't have this.
The late 90s.
And I don't have a rock or something to put this heating element on. How does this work?
You put water in it, and it heats up that pad, and then the pad heats up the food, although not super well.
I can tell you that it appears to be much the same.
All right. I'm about to try it out. I don't know who brought this stuff by.
Thank you, whoever did.
Whoever was, God bless you. I mean, I say that. This might be disgusting.
We're going to hide this in one of our desks in case we have to bug out. In case we have to jam.
Let's find out. I don't have a field knife, so I don't have a way to open these things.
Would you like to use my Swiss Army knife?
Oh, this looks as disgusting as usual. Just so you guys know, that's what it looks like.
What is that?
Cheese tortellini.
Oh.
Which is what I went with because that was one of the highly recommended ones on the Brigade Bar. So that's why I picked that one out. Let's I should put my Tabasco in it, huh? Wait, they don't give me
I don't
Tabasco
have any
anymore?
Tabasco.
Oh my God, you have to eat this stuff as is? You do get salt and pepper, though. All right. Let's see. First bite. Is this going to be better than Benny's Tacos is the question.
I would hope.
No.
No?
Oh, God.
All right, I have some pizza here. It feels like pizza. Looks like pizza.
Did you eat it cold?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Not good.
God bless our troops.
God bless you all.
Yep. God bless our troops.
I'm going to pay for this later. The cookie's good.
I haven't tried any of my other stuff.
Wow.
Well, the guys that do it, I mean, someone's got to do it. Someone has to do it. And again, thank everyone for their service.
Thank you all.
Yeah, you guys are the real MVP. Oh. It's the taste isn't going away. And there's no Tabasco to put on it.
You can really taste the kale.
But normally I would just dump Tabasco in and it's like, oh, if everything tastes like Tabasco, how bad can it be? All right, let's take a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, Major League Baseball. The Angels send Jack Kokanovics.
Smile when you say that.
Kokanovics to the mound against Keter Montero. Tigers are minus 160. Nate Eovaldi goes for the Rangers, minus 260 against Nick Nastrini and the Chicago White Sox.
They've owned the Sox. This might be a good one.
The White Sox almost hit a walk-off homer last night.
But
the Rangers robbed it.
3-1-4-3 yesterday.
Hayden Birdsong goes for the Giants against the Brewers. Aaron Savale for the Brew Crew, minus 135 on the home team. Michael King for the Padres, a slight favorite, minus 115 on the road against Sonny Gray and the Cardinals. Valente Belozo goes for the Marlins. They are at the Rockies. Bradley Blaylock, made-up person.
Mookie's younger brother?
Yeah, perhaps, or son at this point, I would guess. Blaylock minus 130, so the Rockies favored at home. David Peterson and the Mets are they're pretty much even money on the road at Ryan Nelson and the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks minus 120. JT Ginn for the Oakland A's, who soon won't be the Oakland A's. They go up against Julian Aguilar and the Cincinnati Reds. Reds minus 135. Charlie effing Morton.
Charlie Morton, come on, Atlanta. Let's do something.
For the Braves, they are plus 135 dogs at the Phillies. Christopher Sanchez going for the Phils, minus 160. Bowden Francis goes for the Blue Jays, plus 125 dog at the Red Sox. Cutter Crawford going for Boston. Brady Singer and the Royals, who they had caught all the way up to the Guardians, and then they got smacked last night. They are plus 135 dogs at the Astros. Hunter Brown goes for the Stros, minus 160.
Second best pitcher they got, Hunter?
Seems that way.
He's the number 2 starter, though, right?
I don't know. Well, Verlander's back now. You got Verlander, you got Fromber, Ronel Blanco.
Oh, maybe Blanco.
I don't know. And then he had a hell of a performance.
Sure did, man.
You ain't going to hit my pitching today. No way.
Got the no-hitter alert somewhere in the 6th.
And the Baltimore Orioles send Cade Povich to the hill, the son of Maury Povich. I know that because he went on Maury Povich, and Maury Povich said, "You are the father of
to
Cade."
himself.
To himself.
Looked in the mirror.
And then he said, "No! No, damn it!"
Is that Connie Chung's boy?
And Connie Chung got in his face. "I told you, Maury! I told you!"
Don't you defame the great Connie Chung.
Bobby Miller will pitch against Cade Povich for the Dodgers. Dodgers minus 150. Do we have any lady basketball tonight? I bet we do.
We got a little bit, but I'm almost.
It's all tomorrow.
Oh, see, they're running from football.
They know.
They're hiding from it.
Today we've got college football. NC State minus 33.5 hosting Western Carolina. Wake Forest minus 33.5 against North Carolina A&T.
God, these numbers are
These are massive numbers, man. This is big school against or FBS against FCS. Central Florida minus 38.5 against New Hampshire. Buffalo stinks. They're 3.5-point favorites against Lafayette. Bowling Green, a 16.5-point favorite over Fordham. UL Monroe also stinks, 6.5-point favorite over the formerly primed coach Jackson State. Central Michigan, 32.5-point favorites against Central Connecticut. Arkansas is up to a 49-point favorite. I think I have to bet Arkansas Pine Bluff. 49?
Well, okay. What is the bet? Okay, there's others in here that you go, are they that bad?
Yeah, they probably are. If the question is, are they that bad? Colorado is hosting North Dakota State. Colorado's a 9.5-point favorite. The total in this game is 60.5.
Man, that's some love.
I'm going to tell you this. We saw Colorado slow things down as Shedeur got beat up last year, and North Dakota State wants to go slow. I like under 60.5 points to be scored in this Colorado game. North Dakota State's they're going to try and limit the number of possessions in this thing. North Carolina is a 2-point favorite at Minnesota. We talked about that. I think the wrong team's favored here.
Yeah, that's a big get.
Losing your quarterback, and no matter who the quarterback's been the last couple of years, they've had Tez Walker to throw to, one of the best receivers in the country. He's gone. I like Minnesota here. So Minnesota +2
I'm taking that.
Be a place. I think my favorite play of the day is this Jacksonville State. They're hosting Coastal Carolina. Jacksonville State's Rich Rod's team. And Coastal Carolina, what they cannot do is stop the run. They got beat by Army last year because they couldn't stop the run. They got beat by Georgia State last year because they couldn't stop the run. All Jacksonville State's going to do is run. I like Jacksonville State here. I like these Rich Rod teams. I think Coastal Carolina is a little overrated based on name brand of guys that they don't have anymore. So give me Jacksonville State, the Cox, to get the job done. Mizzou minus 48.5 against Murray State. Everyone seems to be in love with this Missouri team. I'm not looking to lay 48.5 points with them. I can tell you that much. Kansas.
Okay.
Kansas football is a 45.5-point favorite.
I've never heard of Lindenwood University.
They play basketball. They're a D1 basketball school.
But this isn't a basketball game.
No, it's not.
So of all the big numbers.
Well, just the idea that Kansas football is favored by 45.5 points.
Lindenwood?
Yeah.
That sounds like a nursing home.
Might be. Tulane, they've got a new coach.
Yes,
new everything. New quarterback. They're 27.5-point favorites against Southeastern Louisiana.
That's a talented football team. I don't know who they lost after that title run last year, but that's a good football team.
They lost Pratt and they lost Willie Fritz. It's a bad start.
Yeah.
UAB. I can't wait to. I'm not betting against them here. I'm not betting against Dilfer here when they play Alcorn, but they're 27.5-point favorites against Alcorn. I want to bet against him so bad. I hate this. I hate Trent Dilfer. Tulsa, 33.5-point favorites against Northwestern State. Utah, the Utes. Did you say Utes? 38-point favorites against the Southern Utes. Southern Utah. Illinois, 28-point favorites against Eastern Illinois. And Sacramento State, 3.5-point dogs at San Jose State.
Don't, ladies, save that for later. That might be what gets you out of
save it for later. This San Jose State's got a new coach. Their coach left along with almost their entire team to go take over the Arizona job.
Right.
That Ken Nuyatomomo, former Navy coach, has taken over at San Jose. But this Sac State is like projected top 5 FCS school. So if you think that San Jose is just going to come in and walk over them, I'd be careful.
Coach Ken's a heck of a coach.
He is.
I was consistently impressed with what he was capable of doing with the guys that he had.
So, but again, it's early, and
he doesn't have his guys yet.
Doesn't have his guys. So I may be on some Sacramento State here.
Sac State
as well. So here we are, friends. We've made it to football season finally. What's the first game? Are you going to watch Rutgers right away, or are you going to wait for Colorado?
That's the game I'm watching tonight.
Over Minnesota and North
no, I'll
Carolina.
pass through. But I think that's probably the better matchup. But tonight is set aside for Coach Prime.
Yeah, I've got an investment in this Jacksonville State game, so I'll probably be
Where
watching.
are we going to find that one?
ESPN or no, CBS Sports Network.
That's
or
on
something
CBS
like
Sports
that. Yeah,
Network.
maybe NBC Sports Network, one of those sports networks it'll be on. So, but a lot of these games are on ESPN Plus. That's the good news. Some of them, good luck finding them. But most of these games are going to be available on television. You know, if they're not, you probably don't want to see that.
I can't
game
imagine if there's you can find any game you want from here on out.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of knowing which service you got to go through to get it.
Coastal in Jacksonville's on CBS Sports Network. North Dakota State and Colorado's on ESPN on the big network. North Carolina at Minnesota is on Fox. But yeah, Lindenwood you can see on ESPN Plus. Missouri, Murray State, you got to have the SEC network. Most of these other ones are all ESPN Plus, except the Big Ten network. You got it. Rutgers Howard is on the Big Ten network. NC State, Western Carolina is on the ACC network. So if you've got those, Illinois, Eastern Illinois, also Big Ten network. And the night game, True TV or Max.
Oh, that's right. Max, the app, the HBO, they
Yes.
have the deal with True TV and TNT and all
So
that
that's
stuff.
where
yeah.
that's where I'll be watching my late game. So I might show up late tomorrow, Rob. I'm gonna be up all night watching Sacramento State, the Hornets.
Well, if you're watching late, that means early didn't go well. That's what I look at it. If you're paying attention to the game at 11:15, the Sac State game, that means that game at 8 didn't go well.
Probably
You're
not.
too worried about getting the get back.
Probably not.
I can't believe we've made it, man. We have. I've said it over and over. We are at the precipice of what will be the most interesting college football season of any of our lives. We have never seen what we're about to go through. It might not be as thrilling as we expected, but I think from week to week, we're going to have more fun in this football season than we've had in a long time, just because of the crazy ass matchups. And it's going to take us a week or two or a couple of weeks for us all to figure out who our team is, whatever your team is, with all the transfers. It's going to be one incredible year.
Yep. Army plays tomorrow. Oklahoma's going to murder Temple tomorrow.
Yep.
Oklahoma's not going to have a lot of bright spots this year. They're going to make sure when they get a chance, they're going to make them bright. And I think they're going to make it real bright against Temple. And TCU's at Stanford. So a little Texas love there.
That is a crazy early season matchup that feels like, again, a mid-December bowl game.
Here we are. Big 12 versus ACC.
Played in California.
Stanford in the ACC. All right, that'll do it for the show today. Blitz is out at the 49 Cigar Bar up in the Stone Oak area, so go see them. Have yourself a nice stick.
You can bring BYOB too.
Bring your own beer. Yeah, how about that? Great place. I've been up there, checked it out. Very nice spot. We'll be back tomorrow recapping real football games. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.